This conference will now be recorded.
Nice dump. Before we get started with TA, I think I'm gonna open up for questions. Just try to get as many questions out of the way as possible. So, what we can do is start. If there's any questions, before we get into the TA, we can go ahead and
Brother, I do
ask
have a
those
question.
first. Go ahead.
I mean, you can cover this at any time, whenever you feel is right. By the way, thank you so much for all this that you've done for the family. I appreciate how we're learning about getting into the space and understanding the space, but very rarely do we cover more like exit strategies and when, it's a good time to exit and in which ways. So if you can cover a little bit of that, that would be great. Just because I've been caught holding the bag many times and for, just being scared of like not like wanting to wait that year long-term period not to pay, like minimize my tax outcome when I have to pay
hmm
taxes and whatever because I started on a centralized. I'm trying to move away from that into a decentralized, but until then, I still have an O, due to gains. So if you can talk a little bit about just exit strategies, that would be great. I appreciate it.
Okay, now let me say this. You really don't owe them gains unless you exit. So if you're just holding long term for the next 3, 4, 5 years, you don't owe any taxes at all. Just so you do know that.
Right, right. But
Um,
I did lost, like I could have taken some gains 6 months into it when it was like close to 60K. And instead,
mhm.
I waited just because I wanted to have that long-term gain effect and pay no taxes under 10,000 or I think it's 50,000. So now I end up owing in some that I did took out and I actually lost a lot of money in others that I held back on selling. So yeah, I mean, it will balance out at the end, my gains versus my losses when I do file, but at the same time, I don't want to get caught holding the bag again and losing 50% of my gain when I could have exited sooner.
Right. Hey, now let me see. Let me tell you this too, though. Those aren't counted as losses. So as far as like, let's say the value went up 10x and then it went back down. Them ain't them. Let me get this out. Those are not counted as losses because you haven't sold them. So just because if you let's just say you're holding Ethereum for instance, and it went up to 4K, now you're down almost 50%, right? That loss of that 50%, that's not counted as losses because you ain't sold it yet. You still holding it, right?
Oh,
It
I
not
sold
not.
some of it. I wasn't.
Okay, okay,
It
okay.
was
I got you.
dipping fast, and I got a little nervous. I mean, I've been on the space for about a year, so I'm not like brand new, but I did. It was my first like major loss, like major dip, and I just panicked a bit. I didn't sell all of it, but I sold some of it.
Right, right. You try to save some. I got you. I got you. So yeah, yeah, you will have to pay on those then. Okay, I got you. I thought you were just holding and the price went down. So if you didn't understand, I wanted you to understand like that's not even a loss yet until you until you sell it.
Right. And like for
Um,
example, like some of the strategies I was talking about, is like some people say, for example, if you are afraid to like make like lose money or you don't want to pay necessarily the gain tax, then convert into like US like the US coin, and that
mhm.
way you're holding your value in US dollars and not necessarily like losing it. But I think that's still taxable because you just converted your coin.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this.
This conference will now be recorded.
Can y'all still hear me? Am I still coming through
Yeah.
clear?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I know this
Yes.
might be going out
Are
sometimes.
you
All
teaching,
right.
G?
So the number one thing, right? You don't want to learn how to try to keep your gains when things turn south. The idea and the plan is to identify when it's turning south. So you don't have to wait for it to turn south. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people, due to greed, don't want to exit really when it's time to because they don't want to be wrong. Whereas, okay, if I get out too early and it keeps pumping up, oh, well, then I missed out on, whatever the pump may be. Um, I'll say this, and said it a couple of times. You never went broke taking profit. I've seen a lot of people try to hold on through the dip, think it's a dip, and it end up being a reversal. Now you're at the point where you're below where you bought at, so you don't want to take a loss now. So now you're going to hold it because you're hoping that it bounces back up just enough to either make you a little bit of money or break even. I'm gonna tell you something. 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna do it. So what we'll look at is a couple of things that tell us that for this market, anyways, right? Um, in my opinion, let me put this out there first. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Please don't take it as any type of financial advice. I have absolutely no degrees and no certificates in any type of financial studies. Take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. Always do your own research. What I'm saying could be 100% wrong. So always do your own research behind anything that I say. But now, number one, we know that Bitcoin, for the most part, is the catalyst for either the bull market or the bear market. Meaning, it's usually going to be Bitcoin that runs first or dumps first, right? So if we're using Bitcoin, which is holding its highs at 36, which is good. Let's go ahead and go on the inside real quick. Okay, this Bitcoin Cash, not what we want. Bitcoin, here we go. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So we were able to, what is this, a 4-hour too? Yeah, we were able to break up above, get support from the 20 and the 50. Let me see, what are we doing on the daily? I know we ain't broke nothing on the daily yet, but this is what we were looking for. In fact, no, I think this is from class earlier. This is from earlier. Never mind. But still, damn, do I want to bring all this in? Let me do something real quick. Major coins too. Here we go. Cool. All right. Let's get rid of all that. All right. So once again, Bitcoin within the last, no, we did go live last night. So we went through all of that. Oh, okay. Like I was saying last night, I believe it was. We were looking for a rejection here, the 20-day moving average, and you got that rejection. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember, and I've been in and out of so many classes. Basically, what we were looking for in order for Bitcoin to continue to go up, right? If we just take all that noise off and just look at the line chart, this blue line right here is y'all price action. This is price of Bitcoin, right? What you want to look at and pay attention to and really focus in on is just your 20-day moving average. That should be your whole focus right now. Until you break, which is just the red line, right? Until you break that red line to the upside, you really are not going to be going back to the upside. Now, where should you have gotten out of this position, right? If we look at price and how price ascended, right? Whereas you got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. There we go, about right there. So looking at your support, man, now that's 30K. This right here would be that high right here, 45,000. You would have marked that off. We rallied up to 60, so you would have looked at, okay, well, where's my previous low? Where's my high? And you would have been like, okay, anything under this previous low, I kind of want to get out of my position, because the definition of an uptrend is higher highs, higher lows. So that means we have to continue to keep making those higher highs and higher lows in order for the uptrend to continue. So we got our high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then for the first time in a long time, lower low, right? Now, what follows this lower low is an indication of what is to come. We get a lower low. Damn, these alerts gonna keep coming. Hold on.
I have a question. When you're saying get out, when you say get out to take the profit, would you take the amount that you made in profit and put it in USDT? Because if you take it out of your position, you're still in BTC. So if it goes down, it still goes down.
Nah, think about what you're saying. We're trading Bitcoin. How do you get out of a position of Bitcoin into Bitcoin? Think about what you're saying. How do you get out of a position of Bitcoin into Bitcoin?
How do you get, I don't know.
Right, you can't trade Bitcoin versus Bitcoin. So getting out of a position of Bitcoin would only be getting into a position of a stable asset, be it United States dollars or USDT, DAI, USDC, Paxos, or one of the stable coins.
So I would take that profit and put it into USD, the profit, and then let it sit there and let the rest of it just stay in its position?
I mean, I wouldn't even, really, that's up to the individual. Me personally, whatever I have on a trading table, when we break certain levels, my position is out. My whole position is out. So I'm not holding any Bitcoin under this level.
But when you say get all the way out, you're selling it all to put it in another
I'm
coin?
trading it from Bitcoin over to USDT or DAI or another stable coin.
Also the whole thing. Oh, because I'm thinking when you're saying take your profit, just take the amount that you have made over the amount that you put in. So just take the whole thing and put it into a stable coin. Ew.
That's one way you can play it. And see, this is the thing. Watch out for people that try to answer your questions with a one answer, because really there's no one answer to any question. So when you're speaking on get out, right, you got to understand there's people that have multiple different accounts of different Bitcoin. So I might be holding Bitcoin that I got in 2017 that I'm never going to sell, right? So that what I'm holding maybe in a hardware wallet, that doesn't even compute with anything. Now, as far as what I'm trading on these trading accounts, right? If I'm trading with these assets and I'm trading them to the upside and shorting them as well, when the market turns around, everything should get moved over from my position into stable coins, because I'm not long in my trading accounts. The only place where I'm long the next 5 to 10 to 50 to 100 years is in my spot accounts. And that's the assets that I'm holding, that I'm looking at, like gold and silver. This is what I'm not going to touch. So I'm not touching this Bitcoin. I'm not touching this Ethereum, regardless of what the market does. You get what I'm saying?
So you're basically saying you got play money and you got keep money.
Exactly. And the keep money goes into the play money. No, play money goes into the keep money, other way around.
Right, right.
Exactly. Now,
Okay.
it takes a while to grow that. Like I say, I've grown mine from 2017. So you probably wouldn't see someone come in 2021 and be like, oh, I got a keep money and play money, because it takes a certain amount of capital to do that. And with Bitcoin being so high, what are you starting with to say that you have? You know what I mean? So it's so many different variables that go into questions that people ask. And I think a lot of people try to falsely answer those questions with what I say is false answer, because they try to give everyone an all-around answer. There's no such thing as an all-around answer, not for this space anyways. You know what I mean? It all depends on the individual. As an example, when you were saying get out, right? Some people are not trading versus the US dollar, right? Some people are trading versus Bitcoin. So in the case of a downtrend, right, they would be getting out into BTC, to which then, and when you're looking at gains and losses, right? Once again, when you're in this space, not everybody looks at gains and losses in USD value. Let's say I'm a Bitcoin maximalist and I don't care nothing for the US dollar, and all I'm care about is my Bitcoin. Then me having, we'll say, 3 Bitcoin is 3 Bitcoin. I don't care if it's 60,000 or 30,000. I got 3 Bitcoin, and that's all that matters. So my thing is, I want to accumulate more BTC regardless of what the dollar value is. So when most people are looking at Bitcoin going down and they're, oh my God, I'm losing money, I'm looking at it like, oh, I still got my 3 Bitcoin. I haven't lost anything. You get what I mean? The only thing that's changed is the value at which I can exchange hands for it at. But at the end of the day, I haven't lost anything. I still got my 3 Bitcoin. It's no different than you having 3 ounces of gold and the value of gold dumped. Did you lose money? Not really, because you really exchanged all of your money for those 3 ounces of gold. So with you holding 3 ounces of gold, you no longer have money. You got 3 ounces of gold. So when the value of the gold dropped, did you lose money? Not really. Once you sell it, then you're taking a loss on what you spent on it, right? Then you're taking a loss. But if you're just holding the 3 ounces of gold, I didn't take a loss. Yeah, if I choose to trade it right now, the value of it's different, but I haven't taken a loss on my asset. And that's what I wanted people to understand about Bitcoin and Ethereum, because a lot of time when they get in, they're like, oh, I lost 1,000, I lost 500. It's like, you really didn't lose anything. Oh, you sold it? Well, then you did take a loss. But if you're just holding your asset, you didn't lose any of the asset. You still got your piece of gold or piece of silver or piece of Ethereum or piece of Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
All right. Cool. Because I keep hearing people say take profit, and what you're saying makes sense. You just take it out and put it in USD. And some people I've heard that they'll say, like, take out the profit that you made when you, like, Like if it's doubled, take out the amount, the half, you know, the amount that doubled, and leave the original amount in, and then and just let it ride.
Okay,
You
now see,
know,
this is why I say that it's different variables because I say that, but I say that from a trading aspect. So if I'm, because remember, trading and a reversal is two different things, right? So me looking at Bitcoin, no, this is Ethereum. Let me get back to Bitcoin real quick. Hold on. Me looking at Bitcoin dropping below here, right? That's more so a get out on a possible reversal. But as far as doubling your money and taking your initial profit out, that's where, let me see, what was this? This is 30, this is 30. Yeah. So if you would have entered a position on this pullback here and ran it up here, that was about 108%, right? When you get 100% return, you can initially take out your initial capital. So I take out, I put in 30, I got 60, I take 30 out, put it to the side, right? Just off of GP because I take profit when I have profit, right?
and that's when you put it in the stable coin and let it and do its thing. Or okay, got you.
Now it's a different way you can look at that too, though. You can put it in stable coin, or I can take out $30,000 worth of BTC and just put it in my hardware wallet for my grandchildren.
Oh, got you. I got you.
Right? Because remember, it's two different ways to look at it. Either you USD or you BTC. You know what I mean? So it depends on what your aim is. Now, with the remaining amount, after I took out my initial capital, I still got the other capital, which is now free coins because I didn't pay for it because I took my initial capital out. So it's like I never even paid for this. Now, if this amount of capital drops below here, I want to exit out of that and then hold it because now I got 30, which, let me see, if we drop below here, what would that have been? That was a 30% hit. So let's see. So now I went from 30 to 21,000, right? But I get out at 21,000 here. Price breaks down here. So instead of me just holding, now I got 21,000 to go back in whenever I feel it's safe to go back in with. And all the time I took my initial capital out, my Bitcoin is to the side, or if you are USD, because everybody don't want Bitcoin for the long run. Some people just do want money. So if you did take it out in USD or USDT or DAI or whatever the case may be, then you got that to the side. And that you can either put it away for safekeeping, or you can wash, rinse, and repeat and do the exact same thing. Take that 30 that you took out and go do the same thing somewhere else. Put it, well, you don't even got to put the whole 30, but reinvest it somewhere else. Grow it up, double it up, take the initial capital out, reinvest it somewhere else. You can really start that first seed. And as an example, right? If anyone goes back and look at my first videos from YouTube, you'll see when I first started putting money in here, I didn't put no more than $200 in Bitcoin when I first started. $200 in the ATM machine. And that's what I started with, and that's what I built up with to where I'm at right now, that initial $200. Now, like I tell people, it wasn't the fact that I was skilled, it was just the fact that I was lucky to get in at the time when Bitcoin was probably like 900 bucks. You know what I mean? On top of the fact that I taught myself, though, because I didn't just sit in it and just watch the price run up. Nah, I taught myself that whole year. I taught myself technical analysis, charting, everything within that year. So I understood the space that I was in. It wasn't just a cash grab for me. Because when I got into Bitcoin, there was no talk of it going to 20K because it had never been to 20K. Hell, it had never been to $2,000. So my thing was this was some cool technology. It wasn't that this was going to make me rich because no one was talking about that back then because it didn't make anybody. Well, it made people rich. They bought it back when it was a couple of dollars, but they weren't talking about that news in 2017. In 2017, it was still a joke. It was a scam, yada, 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 yada. It wasn't until it went to 20,000 that people started talking about it made them rich. But before that, there was no talk of this thing's going to make you rich. It was just, hey, this is technology. This is some new technology. You can be sovereign, private this, private that. And it was like, oh, okay. That was my interest in it. So that's why I operate in the way that I do now, because I didn't get in this to make a bunch of money because you didn't understand that you were going to make a bunch of money in the beginning. So that wasn't my aim. So that's not. So it never was my aim. You get what I mean? So you got the people that do come in late that are chasing the bag. That's pretty much their whole aim. That's why all you really hear is the trader talk. And when like I tell y'all, with what I showed y'all with Brother Rich's thing, that's more important than all this trading. That's more important than the price going up. That's more important than anything. And I tell people that all the time. If you're just trading cryptocurrencies, you're like in kinder. Like, I don't care if you're the best trader in the world. If you don't know nothing about the metaverse, nothing about decentralized finance, nothing about staking, yield farming, you're just in kindergarten. Then you trade Bitcoin, that's cool. That's haha, you know what I mean? But you're not into crypto though. You're just a trader, and that's outside of the scope of crypto. What I brought y'all through was integrating y'all to where y'all can say, no, I do crypto. Trading crypto is not doing crypto. Trading, you're just a trader. You trade forex, stocks, whatever. You're not doing crypto. You just trade Bitcoin. That's cute. But if you're able to sit down with me and talk about how you have the domain name, how you got your digital identity, and this, now you're doing crypto. You get what I mean? So there's a big difference of what I try to teach individuals. Dang, okay. What I try to teach individuals and what a lot of other people try to teach, because everybody else is just going to tell y'all to buy, hold, or buy, sell. There's just going to be a bunch of buying talk. It's not going to be so much of the integration. What does this project do? You know what I mean? And that's what I try to bring to y'all. Even though my main focus, well, not main focus, but with y'all being new, the focus is more so on the price. Because if we are going reverse, it's like I tell everyone, nobody's going to be interested in cryptocurrency if the prices go down for the next year and a half. It's just a fact. A lot of new people are not going to give no care about the technology, how it's innovating in the world. You're not going to care if the prices just keep going down. So I'm trying to get as many people as I can to show y'all, like, hey, prices can go down, you can still make money, and there's still a lot of innovation that's going on in the space. So check this out. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing.
Peace to the gods. I got a question, brother. I remember you said that it's better off to take profit, right? So I remember you mentioned something about borrowing from it. So is that a good strategy to take profit, put it in a I guess a vehicle where you can borrow from that profit, and then go back and invest in whatever asset again?
That's the best strategy. That's the main strategy I teach, is that you want to be your own bank. Initially the money that you're trading with, you don't even want it to be yours. Really, you want to trade with debt, to be honest. So the way that I introduce people, and some people that know that's taking my boot camp or whatever, when I introduce people to the space new, the first thing we do is just go open up a savings account. So if you're coming in with 1,000, 500, 100, 10,000, whatever the case may be, if you're new to this space and you don't understand the market fluctuations, I'm not just going to tell you, hey, go buy Bitcoin or go buy Ethereum like most people. I'm going to tell you to stabilize your money. We're going to open up a savings account that's going to pay you interest every day. And then when the time is right, you can come back and borrow the money and go out and trade with. But as far as just coming in, hey, I got $5,000, I want to start crypto. Okay, go buy Bitcoin. Then you wake up tomorrow, that $5,000 is 4,800 or 4,500 or 3,200. A lot of times for people that are new to the space, it gives them an ill taste in the mouth, and they don't want nothing to do with crypto. So I wanted to stop that. So I wanted to show them, like, look, this is just like the real world. You don't have to put your money in here and risk it going down. You can stabilize it, put it into your own savings account that you have access and control over. And if you so choose, you can come access debt that you can take to go buy whatever else you need, whether it's in the crypto space or in the real world, because you can access that debt and use it for whatever you want. But just to piggyback on what you said, yeah, that's the best strategy. That's the only strategy I use.
Oh, that's the only. All right, so perfect. Next question is, when you talk about opening up a savings account, based on, I guess, the crypto space, can you open up a savings account under an entity such as a trust, and then
Not the ones
borrow
I'm
money?
talking about, because the ones I'm talking about are decentralized. They don't care what, who, status, none of that. It's just a wallet and it's just words. That's the difference between public and private in the crypto space. Public and private in traditional, it matters about status. What is your status, right? In the crypto blockchain space, status doesn't matter. Status does not matter, because for me to open up a private wallet or a decentralized wallet, it does not ask for my status. It actually doesn't ask me for any information. What it does is give me information, which is those 12 to 16 to 32 random words that give me control or own, not, I'm not even gonna say ownership, control over this wallet. Because at the end of the day, when I look at these wallets are actually like a trust accounts. So whereas I can control the funds that are in them, but I really don't own them. Because peep the game, if you forget your 12 words, you don't got that cryptocurrency no more. Who has it? The wallet. So the wallet owns the crypto, to be honest with you. You just got control of it. So the wallets act as trust accounts in my understanding. That's how I've been operating for the last couple of years. It is
You're genius, man. You're genius. Peace to the gods.
But when you have to take the money out of the decentralized wallet, then don't they ask you for like bank accounts and all of that?
It depends on how you come out. I mean, I'm in Chicago. I can go to the ATM machine and cash out fiat, and they're not going to ask me anything.
Oh, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. It's so many different variables. Or I mean, it's a peer-to-peer network. I can easily, hold on, did it just pick up? Hold on. Y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can easily find somebody, well, not easily find somebody, but you can easily set up a network of individuals that have crypto and some that have fiat, and y'all can swap amongst yourselves.
Uh,
It's a community thing.
Bitcoin Bully, I noticed that, I don't know if you guys went over this, I came in a little bit late, but I noticed that you have the MACD chart and the RSI chart up here,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like a divergence there. Is there any significance to that?
Oh yeah, I've been talking about this divergence for about since what, May 22nd. It's definitely significant. That's bullish. I think we went over this yesterday or the day before yesterday. That's bullish divergence. So
Yeah,
what you see is an
okay, I
uptrend
thought so.
on the RSI with a downtrend on price. What does this identify? This shows you that prices, or excuse me, the strength of the asset or the buying power is getting stronger while price is going down, right? Same thing with the MACD. The MACD's signaling to the upside, MACD and signal line, and you're getting more positive momentum while price goes down. So this is what you would call a fake out on the unknowing individuals that can't do TA. They're probably selling everything right now, and they're selling them to everybody that can look at this and see the bullish divergence and basically place low risk orders down here.
Okay.
So I have a couple of questions. Number one, I was reading an article. This is Cece, by the way, and thank you so much for what you're doing here for us.
No
I
problem.
was
Thanks.
I was reading that the wealthy people don't pay taxes because they basically borrow against their assets, and that's why. Who was it? That old guy, the old white dude with. Anyway, anyway, he didn't pay any taxes because apparently he borrowed against his assets and they don't sell their assets. So it just really struck a chord because I got to thinking about what you've been teaching us, and it really follows along those same lines. But having said that, if you transfer, let's say you sell off some coins and you want to transfer it into or buy an
Dang, you,
NFT
hey,
with it.
you broke off a little bit, Queen.
Oh, sorry.
The last thing you said, I didn't hear.
Oh,
I heard you up until the point where you said, what I'm teaching y'all was similar to what they're doing, and then you cut out.
yeah. So if you sell some coins and you want to buy some NFTs, then you shouldn't have to pay
Mm-hmm.
taxes according to what I understand because you haven't pulled any profit. You haven't pulled any profit
Mm-hmm.
from your assets. At least that's what I
Mm-hmm.
understand it to
Yep.
be. Yeah. But the other question was regarding the NFTs because I understand that you can take an NFT, create, let's say, a piece of art or whatever, an artistic piece, and you can then hedge against it or allow people to sell it and you can make profit. But what I've been thinking about is how to use it to maybe do some fundraising for like some nonprofits for that really need help right now. And with that, does it require a lot of coding to write the smart contracts for that? How does that work?
Okay, let me try to answer because you asked a lot. Let me try to piggyback
Sorry.
off the first thing, right?
It's in my head quite a
No,
bit. I'm going to mute myself.
well,
Thank you.
that's exactly why I've been trying to show people how to access debt for the last 2 years. Since 2018, I've been showing people, look, stop spending your money, stop spending your assets, collateralize your assets, issue yourself debt because you don't pay taxes on debt. I just don't give tax advice. I try to segue people into things without really letting, not without letting you know what I'm segueing you into, but sort of, you know what I mean? Um, that's been my whole thing. Debt rules the world. Debt is the answer. That's why I only use debt. If anyone seen the video I posted on my Instagram earlier, I showed you how I took a $6,000 loan and went and bought my property with it, and now I've started discharging that debt, so I don't even have to pay the debt back, right? So now you're definitely right. You don't pay taxes on debt.
Forgive me for sounding ignorant, but what do you mean discharge debt? What do you mean when you said I discharge my debt? What does that mean?
Okay. Uh, it means different things in different circles, but in the circle that we're speaking about in blockchain right now, what I'm able to do is basically erase the amount of debt that I have by way of repositioning my debt position from a stable asset to an asset that is going to decrease in value. Thus, when I reposition it to that asset, it then changes the way that I took the loan out, in the sense that before I took it out in dollar amounts, now I took it out in asset amounts. So now I don't owe dollar amounts, it's the asset amount that I owe back. So if the value of that asset goes down, then I owe less on that asset. So if I borrow $5,000 for myself and I bought
Wow.
I'm seeing that the market is going to turn around, and let's just, as a real easy example, let's say it's an asset that's $5,000. So I swap my $5,000 debt out to the $5,000 asset. Let's say the asset drops down to $2,500. I then take that debt and swap it from the asset back over to the stability coins, which are dollar amounts, and now it's going to lock it in at the value of what the asset is now. So now I only owe $2,500.
So you're
It's
just
a
going
whole
to go
different level.
according to, so you're just going to go according to what the value of the asset is in which you transferred the money into.
The debt.
The debt, excuse me. So you take out 5, but let's say you buy something and at the time that you bought it, it goes down, or it goes down afterwards.
It goes
How,
down afterwards. I want to try to catch it before it goes back.
okay. So then you go according to what the asset is worth, at which point you transfer, whatever word you used, I'm sorry, into it.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And
Not a problem.
what about the smart contracts? I mean, does it really require a lot of coding in order to be able to write the smart contracts for the NFTs?
Okay, for the NFTs are really created automatically. A lot of this stuff in the smart contract space, a smart contract is an automated contract that works without any human interaction. So a lot of the contracts you don't have to code; they're already coded for you. All you got to do is use them. So if you're gonna mint an NFT, you just go to whatever platform you're gonna utilize to mint that NFT, and all you're really gonna do is press a button. It's gonna mint it for you. You really don't have to put any work in when you're minting NFTs.
So when you say mint, all that means is that
Create.
it's now on the blockchain?
Yep, it's now a token. So if I got a picture of whatever, a picture on my wall, I could take a picture of that, upload it onto the blockchain. At that point, when it uploads it, you have a transaction hash, and you've actually minted an ERC 721, or depending on what blockchain you're using, but for the Ethereum blockchain, the minute you create an ERC 721 of that picture that you took, that's a mint. So you minted it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you
That
can leverage those
information.
NFTs too, just so you know. The same way
I'm
you
sorry.
do. I said you can leverage those NFTs the same way you do with any other collateral. Um, as far as being able to use it as a security to issue debt, the thing is you got to get somebody to issue you the debt, or you can play banker and issue the debt and hope they renege and you can take their property. So it's a piece over here I've been looking at take. Well, not taking, but hopefully I can. It's a hash mask piece. They want like 4 Ethereum for it for like 90 days. Which one is it? Which one is it? This is it? No, it's not that one. Where is it? Dang, somebody may have gotten it already and gave him a loan. Oh, I probably missed my beat. Hold on. Yeah, I probably missed my beat. Somebody probably jumped on it already. They want 9. I'm not giving them no 9 each. Yeah, I don't see it no more. But it was one of these hash masks. I was gonna loan them the. I think they wanted 3 or 4 Ethereum. For 90 days, and I was gonna give it to them. You know what I
Wow.
mean? In that case, if they renege within that 90 days, I get the hash mask.
Mm,
Other than that, I get my money back. So it's like a win-win. Either you pay me my money back or I get your hash
yeah.
mask,
Hey, I
which is
plan.
worth more than what I get. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what I was looking for, but I don't see it anymore.
So your courses, because
But
I was noticing where you included information on the courses that you offer. Those are all through
mhm.
Zoom. Or what platform are you using for?
What we're using right now, go-to meetings.
Okay, okay. And you're doing some one-on-one, but that's in Chicago.
Nah. All my one-on-ones are done virtually.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you're in Chicago, then I we can do something in person. But other than that, all my one-on-ones are done virtually through GoToMeetings.
Okay.
What's in
Cool.
Chicago is the classes. Well, the Wednesday and the Friday night classes. Those are held in Chicago, but I
Yes.
do give virtual seats to those as well.
Okay. That's what I remember reading that you had on live ones live
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yep. No problem. No problem.
I have a question about when you're talking about setting up something in the metaverse, like you were setting up your space that you brought and you were building out like a store. If you're putting stuff in there to sell, do you have to do, I mean, for someone to buy it from you, doesn't there have to be some kind of smart contracts built out on everything that you're selling in that
No,
space?
it's already built in. So when you go to my, in fact, I'll just show you. Hold on, I'll show you. I'll give you just a live viewing of it. So that means we want to go to Crypto Voxels.
By the way, I have to tell you, Amir, that you did an awesome job with your building and stuff. That's just so impressive.
Oh, thank you,
I
thank
know.
you. Yeah, when you see where it came from,
Seriously.
like nothing there.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was like, wow.
Let me see. Let's go to parcels. Okay, let me log in real quick. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, see, it's not gonna let me do it. Let me go. Let me do it on the Brave browser. Give me 1 second, family. Let me do it on the Brave browser.
I was like, that would be a really cool way to set up a store for whatever you want to sell. It'd be the new wave of setting up a store online.
This is the new way of setting up your stores online. This is the new everything. I'm telling y'all.
I woke up the other night. I was like, okay, I'm dreaming crypto. Something.
Oh, that's good. You caught the bug. Then that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a crypto head. I'm turning into a crypto head.
That means you're 10 years ahead of the rest of society. It feels good, don't it?
Yeah, not everybody's into it. They don't know what I'm talking about. It's a different language.
Yeah, now y'all know what I've been going through for the last 4 years. Friends, family, everybody.
Wow.
People thought I was crazy in 2017. Called me a jackass.
What?
Who gets the last laugh now?
Those are fighting words.
No, not at the time. They were just misunderstanding words. I'll be that jackass that puts all my money in Bitcoin at $1,000. Okay.
Uh-huh. Wow. I love it. Love it.
Those same people that are calling me jackass were calling my phone asking me for help when Bitcoin hit 10,000.
Hey, brother Bully, how you doing? I was wondering if you could give another explanation about the dad and then discharging it. I was dealing with my daughter for a second, so I kind of heard half of it.
All right. You're just saying that within this space, you're able to actually collateralize digital assets and then issue debt against those digital assets. And using the correct smart contracts, you're able to discharge that exact debt that you issued yourself by repositioning it from what may have been a stable coin to a non-stable coin if that non-stable coin is looking to lose value.
Okay. Would you be able to use, for example, I know whenever you ran the on Sunday, you took out a debt for what you were, some of the things that you bought, right? Could you break down an example with that?
Yeah. So what I took out, I think $60. No, what I take out? 500, I think. Let me, in fact, let me see if I can pull that account up. Give me 1 second. Let me
Yeah,
go
it
there.
was 500 Bitcoin, Bully. It was 500.
Okay. In fact, I should have used that. I should have started discharging that this morning and turned it into a video. That's what I may do. So I'll show you what I mean. So okay, with this, is this the right one? In fact, this ain't the right one, but I'm gonna teleport to where I got the sales going on at. So let me see. Where is my teleporter? Right. All right. Let me let everything load up real quick. There we go. All right, so if we go back here and we look at some of these domain names I got, right? Let's see.
Brother Amir, we can't see your screen that you're speaking of.
Y'all can't?
We see the crypto boxes.
Hold on. My fault.
No,
Okay.
no problem.
So what do I have to do here? Okay, I got you. Let me come back over there and reposition it and bring it back over here. Where is? Hold on, let me find the go-to meetings. My apologies. Um, Hold on, my computer's moving slow, family. I do apologize. Hold on, I'm waiting for everything to pop up and it's not popping up for some reason. Hold on. So we're on crypto box. Which one are we looking at then? Not this. Okay, so we are right here then. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me turn this other wallet off. That's why it's not letting me get in here. Settings. There we go. Open up my MetaMask. In fact, perfect. Okay, so now we can connect. Log in with MetaMask. Okay, here we go. Sign. Explore. So what we'll do is we'll go inside. We'll search up a space real quick. That we will go to the Velvet Room. Search. The Velvet Room. Give it a minute. Everything is loading up. Man, they got
Brother,
sliding doors and everything. Go ahead, Mapa. Go ahead.
yeah, brother Bully. No, I was just gonna mention that I looked at my phone real quick, and my battery percentage is at 44%. I figured you might appreciate that.
Now, definitely, that's a law 44. That's that law 44 coming in while I'm looking at them sliding doors, which I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna put sliding doors in my spot now. Dang, this thing still ain't done loading up. It's loading up a lot. Now I got all these things open, so it's taking a little bit, family. I apologize. Yeah, it's still loading up stuff. And until it loads up, it's probably not going to allow me.
While that loads, I have a question, Amir.
Go ahead.
So as we're looking at your store, and it stayed in my head. The image was amazing. All the visuals that you had on the wall, and
Hmm.
so you have to buy those, and then you just upload them to the store. Is that how it works?
I wonder which one. Okay, it depends on
Oh,
which way. If you're talking
well,
about
that's
Block
what I
Wall
was thinking.
Street,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Your Black Wall
okay.
Street.
So
Yeah,
Block
that was
Wall Street,
amazing.
those pictures on the wall were actually just regular pictures of Tulsa, Oklahoma before they bombed it. You can upload
Wow.
just regular pictures. Now the Velvet Room, which is what I want to show you now, that's where I got my NFTs, my art, my domain names, my digital identities posted at for people to come through, take a look and purchase.
Hey, on that
Um,
note, I have another question because, like, in traditionally, like with intellectual property, you could never use any movie star's name or likeness because they own it, but is it because it's a different space here? Once you buy the name, then you have all rights to it as long as it's on the metaverse?
Totally different space. Totally different set of
Wow,
rules. Like I told people before, cryptocurrency is not going to change for the law. The laws is going to have to change for cryptocurrency. And that's exactly what they've been rewriting the laws,
that's
UCC
right.
laws and everything. So crypto's not
Wow,
going to change for them.
that's crazy.
Well,
Crazy.
um,
Thank you.
I have a statement. So I seen when I went to the Unstoppable Domains how I kept trying to get certain people's names, and it wasn't the fact that they were sold already. They
They're
weren't
protected.
allowing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what? Go ahead.
That's unstoppable domains though. That's not ENS.domains and that's not Decentraland. So you got two other spaces where you can grab their name. What unstoppable domains is doing, because you got to remember, some of these companies are centralized companies. Some of them are not, right?
Right.
Unstoppable domains asking for your ID and all that, that's centralized. So they have to
Oh
play by a set of rules.
yeah.
Remember, Decentraland, there's no email, there's no nothing. They can play by the meta rules, which are no rules basically. I mean, they do have their own set of rules within the blockchain, but as far as like copyright infringement stuff like that, it doesn't exist there.
Doesn't
You know what
exist.
I mean?
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, but
So,
having said that, though, oh, I'm sorry, Hen, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say I was trying to set mine up today and with Decentraland, and for some reason, like the website kept dropping on me. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Now let me
Connection.
ask you this: did you have okay? So you went to the website, you were trying to load it up from the Play side.
Yeah, like I went through the Brave browser. I turned on certain things that need to be turned on, and every time it kept trying to get in. So I don't have any crypto yet. Like it asked for a MetaMask, and I set that up and everything. It was just like you said, I was trying to go through the Play, and it got me in, but it kept dropping. Like I wasn't able to fully create my avatar.
Yeah, it's not gonna let you fully create it, number one, because you don't have any mana. So it won't even let you really put that name in and check it without the 100 mana in your wallet. Then you have to, before that, you have to approve the mana to even use it, which takes a small amount of Ethereum. So certain steps in this space, you're not going to be able to go forward with unless you do have cryptocurrency and unless you pay the fee to go forward with those steps. Now, as far as the website dropping, that may be when you're trying to load it up through the initial default screen. I'm gonna tell you how to bypass that and just get straight. Because let me ask you this: did it let you at least look at the part to write your name in, or did it not even get there?
It didn't even get there. Like it got to the point where to start creating an avatar.
I got you.
Um,
Yeah, I'll show you what you want to go to bypass all that. Let me go to another wallet because I don't think it'll let me. Let me go here real quick and see what's in
Samir,
this
I have a
wallet.
question though. You
Yes,
brought up
ma'am.
a really good question in my mind. So if you can buy a name on, let's say, Decentraland, but
Hmm.
is it possible that somebody owns that same domain on Unstoppable?
good
Yeah, definitely,
question.
Or
definitely
is it like
possible.
the regular, domain setup like we have now where once you buy it, that's it?
Nah, can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely possible because it's two different worlds. Unstoppable domains is not Decentraland. Decentraland is not
Ah,
unstoppable domains. Unstoppable domains,
oh,
remember, is for
wow.
website builders. Decentraland is for like Sims type people, avatars.
Yeah.
So Decentraland is the person. Unstoppable is the person's website. So the person may have their website, but shit, I got you. You get what I mean? So if you want
Oh,
to hold, let's just say I bought DJ Quick. For those that are old enough to know who DJ Quick is. Well, no, let me use somebody else.
Great.
DJ Khaled, right? Let's say I bought DJ Khaled's name in the Decentraland world, but he was able to get DJ Khaled.crypto. That's cool. You can set up DJ Khaled.crypto, your website and all that. But as far as there being an event, let's say that Ja Rule and whoever else, all of them got their names and they wanted to hold no, we'll say Nas and Jay-Z in them. And well, now somebody got their names already. Whatever. They wanted to hold a concert in Decentraland like real world people have been doing. DJ Khaled would not be able to show up as his avatar unless he changed his name around and spelled it differently from how it's really spelled if I owned it. That's the only way he'll be able to show up. Other than that, he'll have to get the person from me.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
you know what I think would be real powerful? So you've got a
Ooh.
following, right, Amir? You have a following now, and like you were saying, thanks to Brother Rich and Urban X and all those guys, uh, we're learning about you. But it would be kind of cool if we developed our own language, because it just seems like that's what everybody else has done.
Mm, mm.
They've developed their own words, their own language, and their own names, and who's to say that's the way it has to be? I mean, we're the people.
Now I'm gonna tell you something.
Well,
From the day I came into the space, I always told everyone, all this stuff is cool to use. It looks good. We can create all this ourselves. We can be the
yeah,
ones that created Decentraland. You created Unstoppable, created ENS, created.
yeah,
Look, you got people right now. Look, this is the only time we've ever been alive where people are actually creating money out of thin air.
right. Well, they're doing it now anyway, right? I mean, look at the stimulus package. That's creating
Nah,
money
nah,
out.
not that, not that. I'm talking about just the crypto space. People are coming to this that you've never heard of in life, creating a cryptocurrency called Dog Eat Dog World, putting 1 billion coins out there, and people are buying them. You've
Wow,
never seen nothing like this in y'all life, because I haven't. Well, let me not say I
right,
don't know what y'all see. I ain't never seen nothing like this on a mass scale like this.
right.
New currencies being built every day, basically.
Every day there's a new currency out. They've never seen nothing. They've never been bombarded. That's why they scared the way they are. They've never been bombarded with this many. If you're looking at currency as a war game, right? Because it is a war game. There is a war currency.
Right.
Imagine, man, it's so serious. Imagine the currency world wars when people understand that Bitcoin is a part of that currency world war.
Mm,
Right now, people
It's,
don't understand that he's a part of it, or it
that's
is a
right.
part of it, rather.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? But now, that's why you see companies like MicroStrategy, like
Right.
Tesla,
Right.
like certain banks that are wiping their Federal Reserve notes off of their balance sheet. Y'all need to study like what balance sheets are and what role that plays in businesses, and they're replacing their balance sheets with Bitcoin.
That's crazy.
yeah, I'm a business major, so that's what I'm, learning right now.
That's going to be key because you're going to understand what most people don't, and that's the transition that they're taking. They're taking the position of saying we don't want U.S. dollars, we want Bitcoin. That's People need to put that in their mind. That's huge. Like a company is saying, we don't want dollars. We want this thing that people say is fake or whatever. Whatever the
Yeah.
people say, I want 1.5 billion of it.
Wow.
Yeah,
And now we have
they
to
did.
remember Bitcoin is limited. That's another thing. It is a race against time. Because I mean, if you're seeing these billionaires buy up majority of the Bitcoin, it's not going to be a lot to go around. And then this is the thing. They're not going to sell their Bitcoin. They're going to leverage it, meaning they're just going to put it in a collateralized debt position and they're going to issue debt against it and they're never going to sell their Bitcoin. Because people are always like, well, you have to sell it one day. No, you don't. Not if you understand banking.
All right, so
Mm,
you go to unstoppable.com and you get it from there. Then you have to go to Decentraland before you make it an NFT?
Nah, okay. Hold on. I think you're mixing things up.
yeah.
So, okay, Decentraland is one separate whole totally different thing. Like even though I combined everything together, that's just a strategy that I put together. I highly doubt you're gonna find anybody telling you that you need to do it that way. You know what I mean? That's something that I put together. But at the end of the day, Decentraland is something different. ENS domains is something different, and Unstoppable is something totally different. They each have their own three worlds, but you can combine the three worlds if you're looking at it from a business play. So if I want to get Warren Buffett in the metaverse, I might as well get Warren Buffett's website and get Warren Buffett's payment name. That way I can lock all three of those worlds in and make it a bundle, even though it didn't come as one.
Nice. Okay.
Mm.
I have
Really,
a
I'm
I
really
question.
giving
know.
y'all some cold strategies. It's like there's not nothing you're gonna find on YouTube, or you're not the things that I teach. You're not gonna read about no books, no articles, because it's not. I put the things together in my head. How I operate, how I take a loan out for this specific reason to do this. It all come from my head. I didn't read it anywhere. No one told me to do it like that. I sit down and I make this stuff up myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Go
By
ahead.
the way, the story that I was telling you about, Amir, it was on
Hmm?
Warren Buffett. How he doesn't pay taxes. That's what I remembered now.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
all
Hmm.
I
about
have a
that.
quick question, brother. In terms
Go
of
ahead.
you talk about all these worlds and all these things. I mean, in that one video that you did, you packed in so much. How do you organize yourself to keep track of what you've bought, the domains, the websites? Do you have any strategies to share with
Yeah,
people?
I got a real easy one for you. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. In fact, I got a couple of them. Hmm. Okay, I got
Once
you.
you get done doing that,
Hmm.
will you go and show me or show us how to do the bypass all that stuff that I was talking to you about on Decentraland?
Yeah, I can show you that now.
I'm
So if you
sorry,
want to
we
just,
all over the place
nah,
catching
you all
you.
good. So if you want to just go straight by your name from Decentraland, right?
Hmm.
Um, let me see. Hold on. All you want to go to, you want to go to the builder, which it should give us. Here we go. Go to the marketplace. So don't go into like you want to play the game. Go like you want to just go straight to the marketplace, right?
Okay.
Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And when you get to marketplace, you want to go straight to builder. Wait a minute, let it load up. And then you
But
go
like
straight
I
to
understand,
names.
I can't do none of that until I buy some mana.
Now you can
Correct.
get this far right here without buying mana. You can get this far. You can even get as far as, hold on, let me connect real quick. Come on. There we go. I think this is the wall that I did Brother Rich's class with. Let me see. Come on. Let me go to marketplace. It is just running a little slow. Like I said, I got a couple of things though.
Brother Bully.
Okay, builder.
So
Yep.
you were just on a page that had some of your unstoppable domain stuff. I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was the Black Block Wall Street. Was that on Decentraland? Was that the Velvet Room and all that? Is that on Decentraland?
No,
Oh
that's
wow.
crypto voxels. That's crypto
Okay, the
voxels.
box. Okay, and
Hmm.
you consolidate all the different ones there. Like if somebody say like how you were giving the example of say like a Warren Buffett where you have the ENS, the unstoppable domain plus the avatar. Like how would he search for that? Like would he have to go to the voxel and get it from you or check it out
Mm-mm,
there?
not at all. He can go to OpenSea
Uh-huh.
and he can look up. Let's see. Where is it at? Let it load up. Depending
Is
on what
open
he wants to look at, whether it's ENS, whether it's Decentraland names, or whether it's unstoppable domains, you would look at that specific subject matter. So we just want to look at
uh-huh.
it, Decentraland domains. In fact, let me see. What's the name? Let me.
So OpenSea is more like a database that contains like all of the different ones, all the different platforms.
Yep.
Okay.
This is like the flea market. This is where you go find everything at. It's the flea market.
Okay. Regardless of the platform, it'll be on OpenSea.
Let me not say regardless of the platform, but the largest platform. So every platform that I introduce you to, yeah, it's going to be on OpenSea.
Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Not a problem. So let's see. Let's see. We want to look for. Let me see. I wonder if they got Warren Buffett.
Amir, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your background? Because you're really creative.
Uh,
You an artist?
yeah, I used to be an artist when I was younger. Before I got into the streets, I used to win art contests and everything when I was younger.
Wow. Yeah, you're really creative.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
It's
you,
really
thank you.
cool.
I mean, I've always been a creator of different things, so I just took that energy and put it into this instead of what it was going into originally.
Right on.
But Amir,
Right on.
once you're an artist, are you ever not an artist? You know?
Say it again.
I was saying it's like once you're an artist, it's like you're always an artist. You're always going to be an
Yeah,
artist.
yeah. You just gotta tap back into it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me look at here real quick. Cause so what I'm pulling up now, right? This is one of my domain names. No, yes, this is one of my domain names, but I turned it into an NFT art gallery. So you can come here. Like I just bought NLE Chopper. I don't know if any of y'all know who he is. I've never really listened to dude, but I see everybody sharing him. He looks real character-like and colorful. So I went ahead and bought him. I think he could be a real good character in the NFT space. Here goes a piece that Brother Naughty gave me on my birthday. A couple Ghostbuster pieces. And just a couple of other pieces that I have. Smurfs. These right here are from the Sandbox game. All the Smurfs. A number of these voxel pieces. So let's say we wanted to buy. Let me see. I'm not selling my land.
How do you know what is the
Leor Cohen. Let's say we
value?
wanted to sell Leor Cohen or buy Leor Cohen.
How do you
What
even
you
know
need
what
to
is
click?
the value other than people when it comes to art?
Say it again.
How do you even notice what is of value other than like people's names when it comes to like art, like the pixelized Smurfs and stuff like that?
Okay, those are actually in-game pieces. So when you think of those, you got to think of what the kids are playing, like Grand Theft Auto, Roblox. As an example, let me go back. So let's see if we look at this piece right here, right? So this laser blaster. If you're playing this game, you're obviously going to be able to shoot people with this. So this would be no different than you playing Call of Duty, we'll say, and you getting one of those submachine guns or a bazooka. But in the game, that actually costs cryptocurrency and it has a value to it. That's the only difference. There's no difference. These are just video games. The different. Well, okay, you're asking a different questions. So with some of these are video games, so they're actually use cases for them in that specific game. Now, as far as art goes, right? So stuff like this, I really buy things that I think are futuristic. When we think about where art's going, right? I did a video when I was staying downtown of it wasn't an NFT, right? But it was a digital picture frame that had movable art going on in. Now, all they had to do was take that and upload it to the blockchain, and it would have been an NFT. I'm looking at a couple of digital frames that I'm going to purchase myself that I'm going to put my own NFTs in. In fact, they got a chain coming out that has an NFT charm on it where you can showcase your NFTs. So when I think ahead and I think where things are going to be, I think of what would people want to see on their walls. And that's you know what I'm saying. I look at also what I'm interested in. You know what I mean? So and then what's interesting in the space, you know, and I use all that together and I just make my decision and like, okay, like something simple like this. I like this. This looks like something that we used to have to make in art class with the construction paper, right?
Oh
That's
yeah.
exactly how this looks to me. But it's an actual moving thing. I would love to come in my crib and see this going on my wall. You know what I mean? It's some of the things that I like personally.
I
So an
understand.
NFT can be made out of anything, music,
Anything.
art, like just taking a picture of it and
Yeah, so say if there's a piece of art in the in our reality world, not on the blockchain, that you might think is valuable, can you obtain like a print or something like that, then put it on the blockchain and then make it an NFT?
You definitely can. There's a lot of piracy going on the blockchain right now. A lot.
yeah.
That's where, and see, now this is where if you're on the outside looking in, you're like, well, how are they doing that? But people on the inside, like, I can just follow your public address. I can see where everything's going on. So I can tell it, number one, we got technology right now. I got apps that I can take a picture of something and it's going to pull it up if it's ever been on the internet. So number one, if you got something that I like, I can take a picture of it and see if it's yours or not, or see if it's something that was really constructed some other time and you just took a picture of it. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that you can do as far as research goes to figure out what's almost like as an example. if you watch a lot of NFT videos, they're always going to give this example. What if we took a picture of the Mona Lisa? Somebody would just be able to sell it. And it's like, yeah, but nah. Yeah, but
Or
nah.
like,
Like,
more like if you get like open source artwork and then put it on there.
say it again.
Open source artwork that's already basically have ran its shelf life in the intellectual property world, has no claim from anyone at that point.
If it has no legal claim to it, then it's up for grabs. That's just law. If it has no legal claim, then it's up for grabs. Now, this is the thing, and it is what I think that I want everyone to understand too, because a lot of people are like, well, I can just print an NFT or anything and go sell it. You gotta get somebody to buy it. That's the number one. You have to get. They're not just out here buying every Tom, Dick, and Harry thing that come out here. They're just not. You know what I mean? I'm real selective with what I buy. You know,
So
so
gotta be creative.
just because you print something and put it up there, and it's like that, nobody has to really buy that.
But Amir, those cyberpunks, I mean, they
I wouldn't
sold.
buy them. To be honest with
I
you.
wouldn't either, but I mean, somebody bought them, and why would they buy them if they're not all
Okay, so now
that?
this is the thing about the cyberpunks. The cyberpunks are a limited edition piece of a new technology. That's all that is. It's basically having the rights to say, hey, I bought this when nobody knew about it.
Got
That's
it.
all them is.
Okay.
They're essentially just speculating on the future that someone is going to see value in it because it's what it was like the first of a kind and
Yeah,
like
there
you
you
said,
go. It's think collector's items. Think about
right?
today's antiques. What were they back then? Stupid little trinkets. In
Yeah.
the time that they were around, you get what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. So for example, do you have any like for instance me, I don't draw or do any type of artwork myself. One of the things that I was thinking about was possibly I have an uncle that he's pretty good with artwork and stuff like that. I'm trying to get him to kind of like draw like just a bunch of different ideas that I have up in my head, but I can't draw it myself, and then kind of like but how would you like? Is there there's got to be apps that kind of like digitize it and make it like you said, futuristic where it's moving and stuff like that. Do you have any in mind?
Yeah, I mean, man, I can Procreate. I think I shared this one on Brother Rich's Voxel Edit for making stuff specifically on the Sandbox game.
Okay.
Hold on.
Why is it that you can use people's likeness and their names, but yet you can't use other people's artwork? What is the difference with that? It's all intellectual property at the end of the day, right?
I never said that you can't use other people's name. Well, number one, it's two different projects. Remember, you're saying you can't use the names, but that's only on unstoppable domains. And decentrally, I can use any name in the world I want. Remember, public and private, centralized and decentralized. You're speaking about two different projects, two different guidelines.
Mm,
You can only not use that name on that centralized platform.
got it.
You got y'all gotta understand the difference between public and private, centralized and decentralized.
Right. Unstoppable being centralized and
Right.
land
That's why
being
they got
I got
protected
some
names over
names on
there.
my hit list.
I'm telling you, it's a name. It's a way around that. Like I told you, I grabbed Beyonce name, but I didn't grab. I wasn't able to grab her first. Just Beyonce knows that was gone. I was able to grab her first, middle, last part. That wasn't gone. You got to be creative.
that's amazing.
Hey,
Brother
Chicago, since we on the subject of domain names, I was wondering, can you lease the domain names, or do they have to buy them from you, once you get them?
Nah, you can lease them. Yeah, man, look, I used to think I was selling all my stuff. I'm only leasing everything I got. I'm not. I mean, there's probably gonna be certain things that I sell, but for the majority, my space, my properties, and all that, I'm leasing everything. I'm being like how these people treat it. Well, whatever. I'm leasing all my stuff. I'm not selling my stuff.
Exactly. I thought about that when I first bought a couple of my domain names.
How would you go about doing that?
You set up a smart contract, or I mean, everything is contract, but you set up a contract. Whereas, okay, I got a website right now called niftynfts.crypto. I guarantee that name is going to be worth something. Nifty NFTs is too slick. So people are going to want to buy that. I'm not going to sell it, but what you can do is allow me to display your artwork. And what we'll do is we'll use a smart contract that allows me to get a certain percentage and make the code off nifty-nfts.crypto. That's all.
Okay, so smart contracts, that's where the business is done. That's where agreements are
Yeah.
made. and everything.
Yeah,
Got you.
that's what does the agreement for you. That's what says, okay, if this was fulfilled, these are the terms. Since this got sold on this platform, this wallet gets this much, this wallet gets that much. That's a smart contract.
Got you. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep. And as far as pictures go, you don't have to know how to do art really. This right here, for existence. In fact, let me show you the one that sold out. In fact, so this sold out. This is the Bitcoin harvest. All this was a screenshot that I took of my chart with the moon phases, and then I used the filter and freaked it. That's all I did. Now, why would somebody buy this? This was a historical time in Bitcoin's timeline where this is the last time it was at $10,300. And if it never goes back down, and this is a history shot then. So it may not be valuable to you, may be valuable to some. Then you got the midsummer. This is actually slick now that I look at it. I should have copies.
And if you like, that whole I mean, that's like some definitely astrological, like on some Bluehost stuff. Like, that's I love the cosmic ritual. I mean, I love those pieces. Like they're very shamanistic.
Thank you. And those, like I say, hold on, let me go back. This right here, this wasn't nothing but a picture I took. This is a picture I took of a ritual I did one night, and I just freaked it with a filter. But this is all like actual stuff. This is selenite. This is a crystal ball. This is silver piece, a 10-ounce silver round. These are silver ounces. These are candles. This is a wand. What is this? This is some type of tower. I think
Is this one of how many copies of this?
Huh?
You created only one copy of this one?
No, I created 8. I've sold 2 so far. Now this is the thing. When I first created these were only worth about $80. Now they're $320 because the value.
Right.
Wow.
Peace to the God.
Now you gotta understand. All I want is 0.133. I don't care what the dollar value is. I just want 0.13 Ethereum. That's what you're gonna start thinking in y'all mind. And this is the currency. I don't care the dollar value. I just want 0.13 Ethereum, whatever it is. So people are like, oh, it's $320. Well, that's not what I priced it. I priced it at $80.
Peace to the gods. I got a question.
Go ahead.
Chicago Bully. So basically, we all on this space need to build our own Sotheby's in a sense.
Say it one more time.
So we all need to create our own Sotheby's on this platform, or multiple platforms.
I would. Why wait to be told to do it?
Yeah.
True.
Hey,
I
Amir.
couldn't understand him. What did you say? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
You talking to the brother who was just speaking?
Yeah. What was he saying?
No, what I was saying.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, brother. No, go ahead.
You're talking about the auction house Sotheby's, correct? The high-end auction house Sotheby's?
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, I went through that the night before Brother Rich's class and during Brother Rich's class. Go ahead, Miss Agnes.
Oh, no, I was just trying to answer the gentleman's question about what he was referring to. So Sotheby's is a high-end auction house where they sell, high-end pieces. So what Brother Amir is saying, yeah, you can create your own Sotheby's marketplace, put your own artwork and sell it. That's all he was saying.
Got it. Okay.
And not only that, right? Not only that, if we go back and we look at the story, right? Hold on. This was the biggest thing that stood out to me about that story, because I guarantee you could have named your price on it, right? So if we look at, let me see, where's the original story? Here we go, right here. This probably ain't the original one I read that day though. Yeah, here it is, right here. So number one, they had to get the space in Decentraland. We don't know if they bought that space prior to it, or they had to lease it from somebody. Right?
Right.
We don't know if they bought this when Decentraland came out. This is the biggest thing though. They had a digital avatar of its London commissionaire Hans Lamordo.
Right.
Had I knew who that was and I bought that name, I would have been able to name my price for it. Because y'all bought the space. You need the guy. Hey, you got to get it from me.
Wow. Hey,
That's how
Amir,
rich it is.
it's kind of unrelated, my question, but it's kind of related. How low do you think Bitcoin will go?
How low?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else. I don't price predict like that. I play it by levels. As of right now, I'm looking at a possible low from right where we're at right now. If we break 30,000, 27,000 from 27 to 24,000, like 800 from 24,800 back down to 22,000. From there, I haven't looked at anything because I needed to get there so I can look at what the charts and what everything is looking at that time to give an assessment when it gets there. But I can't just say that Bitcoin can go down to 1,000, which at the end of the day, this whole space is speculatory. Bitcoin can go
That's
to
right.
zero at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just hope this market keep bleeding because this is the perfect time to get in.
And I'm gonna tell you something, not just getting in on the market. I always speak about this. Now's the best time to buy NFTs because all the
Oh,
NFTs are half off. So that land that I bought for $6,000, it was originally $12,000.
dang.
Hey, brother Amir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I like that Cosmic Rituals. I didn't
Thank you.
realize that 0.13 ETH is now worth over $300.
Ah, you bought the first one, didn't you, brother Boogie?
Yes, sir.
My man, how much was it when you bought it, bro?
$60.
60. Oh, so I didn't even price it at 80. I priced it at 40. That's why I priced them at 40. That's what it was.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah. He bought it at 60. Now he look, he does not have to sell it for more Ethereum than he paid for it. But he's gonna get more US dollars than he paid for it. You know what I mean?
So by him holding on to it, he will accumulate like wealth off of it over time.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth more USD per the Ethereum it's worth. Now he can also re sell it for higher. He doesn't have to sell it for 0.13 Ethereum. He can go sell it for 2 Ethereum, 3, 4, 5, whatever he wants to.
Okay.
Because it's his now.
In which you get a royalty off that, correct?
Not off of Mint Base, and not because I got it. Like I said, I got into this before all this stuff was really going on, so not off Mint Base. Had I did it on Rarible or Mintable, then I would have been able to get a royalty on it. Or if Brother Boogie would have bought it off of me off of the auction on OpenSea, but he didn't. I think you came straight to Mint Base and bought it, right, Brother Boogie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came straight to Mint Base and bought this, like right
Gotcha.
when I first brought it out. So.
Brother Bully, I know you were mentioning earlier about, as far as us being able to, like you said, why could we not build things like Decentraland and stuff like that? Now, do you do, do you do any type of programming, any type of coding and stuff like that?
I'm teaching myself Solidity right now. Then I'm gonna go to JavaScript, but not enough to teach anybody. Not enough to teach anybody.
Okay. I ended up, when I first got started, I tell people all the time, I said, I wish I had kind of came across you before I came across anybody else, because I feel like you teach the most. But I ended up buying a blockchain academy, basically to how to program all this stuff. When it was half off at one point. I just been slacking, but I need to get up on it and kind of learn how to do that.
Hey, that's how you become the master of this realm. That's like those are the gatekeepers. The people that are creating, those are the gatekeepers. I'm still at the whim of somebody right now. As much as knowledge as I got and everything, until I can create, I'm just a consumer.
Can you repeat?
I'm still a consumer though.
I'm sorry, the dude that was speaking previously before you, Amir. I'm trying to understand what website or what services he bought to create this space, learn how to create the space. Like, where can I go to like find it if I wanted to do that?
Hey, look, I'm gonna put y'all up on something real useful. It's gonna be for everybody. If y'all really want to learn the code and really a majority of this information you can get for free. If you want to learn how to code, look up here it is right here. We got 2-3 hour long videos that's gonna walk you through how to do your own coding on the blockchain.
I've seen his stuff. I got my stuff through Ivan on Tech.
Yeah, Ivan on Tech decent. Ivan on Tech. I like this brother here more than Ivan on Tech though.
Okay. Have you looked at or tried the Morales? Have you heard of that? Moralis?
Yeah. I have though I can't off the top of my head. I've heard the name. I'm trying to think of the project though. I look at so many projects. You can break it down for me though.
Well, so what it is it's a Ivan on Tech product or whatever, and what he's doing is supposedly he's it's supposed to be like coding, like a platform or something, and he what he's saying is he's making it simplified, where you could create any kind of DApp and basically use one line of code.
I mean, well, they got. Let me show y'all. They got Let me see. They got actually a lot of stuff out here.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me find some. Man, there's so many projects out here you can use that don't need code. Definitely developing is not an overnight thing. He said something else, but not. It's definitely not just like anything else. But in the crypto space, they do have a lot of no code. Well, it's not really developing. Some of it is like you can create cryptocurrencies without knowing how to code. You can do flash loans without knowing how to code. Building out a full out decentralized application, you're gonna have to know how to code. But they do have. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they got a lot of platforms over here to let you do anything. Talking about Legos, right? Legos lets you do a lot of stuff without coding. It's basically being able to attach one or one type of financial transaction to another and make it do certain things without you actually having to go and code it. So anytime you see the word Legos in the DeFi space, that's probably your project that's allowing you to do a number of things without knowing how to code it.
I'm gonna shoot you a DM on IG about that stuff, if that's okay with you.
No, go ahead, definitely.
All right. Yeah. My IG handle is Shorty Barber Indigenous, so gotta look out for that.
Let me find. Hold on, pull it up now.
So, can we learn how you do the moon chart?
The moon chart, it's really not even that hard. It's really now. This is the thing, right? There's no one thing that's ever gonna tell y'all what's going on with this. I use the moon chart as a catalyst to go along with other things, right? So, hold on, did I hit it? Yeah, I did. Let's get Bitcoin up and running.
Is this what it's called? That we're looking at? It's called a moon chart?
Nah,
Oh,
not yet.
I was to say, wait, what?
The chart is off of tradingview.com.
Hold on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me see. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Let me see. Am I right? Oh, okay. I'm not. Hold on. Let me change this over because I'm not even in the right browser to use that. Hold on. Here we go.
It feels so good to be learning from somebody that's noble in this space.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Feels good to be teaching people that's really interested in the information. Okay, so let me put this back on candlesticks.
But I want to add to that. It's not just that he's knowledgeable, but Amir shares, and that's awesome. He shares.
Like
yeah,
genuine
information is key.
Yeah, fact, there's only
key,
people
man.
that talk about trading, like trading cryptocurrency, but he actually goes in deep and tells you what you can actually utilize the altcoins or certain coins and you can make a return back. You know what I mean? I have never heard nobody talk about this, and I've been hearing about cryptocurrency since 2015. The only thing I knew about was trading it. You know what I mean?
That's because I really
Yeah.
ain't got nothing to sell y'all. Everybody trying to sell y'all something.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's a
I'm just trying
competition.
to teach y'all
Bless you,
something.
Amir. God bless you, brother.
Nah, you all well. You all well. So let's look at this real quick, right?
Brother
Yeah, like I
Amir,
said.
how did you get the moon on there? I missed it. I looked away.
Okay.
My
I
apologies.
mean, it was already on my chart, but if you want to look
Okay.
for them, you come up here to where the F and the X is, it indicators and strategies. You come in here, you just type in moon, and you can get the
I got
moon phases and the moon cycles.
you. Okay.
Oh wow.
Right
Thank
now,
you.
this is the
Got a
moon
new moon
cycles
coming
right
up
here.
now.
Hey,
That's the
is that was that white boy making a video? He made a video about you. Was that about you? Where he was in Chicago? This guy doing.
I don't know who the white boy talking about, man. Some dude from Chicago. You mess with the moon charts, you know.
So
I don't
Right.
call anybody out though,
what's the
man.
difference between the
White
moon
boy
phase
cool,
and the
man.
moon cycle?
Say it again.
When would you use the moon phase versus the moon cycle? Like
They're
over.
actually both the same. The only difference is that the cycles got the crescents and the equinoxes that come in. You got your winter solstice, your vernal equinox, autumn equinox. It's just giving you a little more on the astrological side. So it depends on what you know about astrology. Not so much for just traders, because traders probably don't use this, right? You have to be into astrology to even want to pull this up on the chart.
You know what
But
I
really,
found interesting about that video? That guy is, like most people will tell you, hey, charting and all this stuff has to do with, it's pretty much emotional / psychological tendencies of how people behave towards the market. And it's like, how could you not, how could you discredit like the moon phase? You know what I mean?
right, because they affect human. They affect human. Oh man, what is the word? I can't even.
Behavior.
There you
Peace be
go.
upon
Thank you.
CM Bay.
Thank you. Go ahead. Someone else saying something?
No, I was saying peace be upon CM Bay, the clock of destiny, all the
Oh
morals.
yeah, definitely. Salute to the elder. But yeah, anything that affects human behavior, and human behavior affects the markets. So it's like it's a no brainer. But like I say, you don't want to use the chart, the moons just by themselves off face value. So let me see.
Using moon, I'm more into using the different planets, like to do certain things at different times.
Oh no, you can
Um,
definitely do that. But when we're speaking about technical analysis, you can't unless you come over here and code it. We can't get the planets on here.
because that's
Yeah.
how I move in real life. Like I don't do certain things, or if I do something, I would like to use the energy that I, can get from whichever planet I'm trying to do something with that represents different things.
No, you doing it right though. You moving naturally. That's just natural law.
I study astrology myself, and the moon is exalted. It's held back in certain signs and certain modalities, and it absolutely rules over commerce. The moon is absolutely tied to commerce. Is tied to the waters. As Moors, we were taught that we were merchants who ruled over the waters. So it's all tied.
Yeah. Oh no, I just haven't really got deep into it. Cause me, I'm a woman, so uh my body
You
speaks
tied to the
with
moon too. Islam.
yeah,
Islam.
yeah, I'm really tied to the moon. So depending on which moon, I'm fertile or I get,
Yeah.
a period.
And
But
depending on your sign, you always tied to wealth and prosperity. Exactly.
yeah,
So for those that are
um,
looking at this chart, what do you notice about it then?
uh,
That as it relates to the moons and price action, that is.
When the
okay,
moon
so
is full, the prices are
Basically,
down.
the ebb and flow.
yeah.
I see you. So
Yes,
Well,
it seems
no.
to be there's a
Okay,
waning
so
Well,
when
correction
it's
on
when
the
there's
moon.
Waxing and
when
wane.
when there's like the waning symbols of the moon,
Exactly.
well, except for on the left, But generally it seems that when the moon is in a waning phase, that it's going down and right before it goes up again.
It looks like the full moon is the breakout. Where it
Yeah,
breaks
that's what I was about to say. At the
What's
top,
the full moon on top? Is the full moon on top or is it the
Full
full
moon on bottom, new moon on
full
top.
moon's on the
Full moon
bottom.
on bottom.
The full
I
moon
see.
looks like the breakout, where it's breaking up
It's a new,
in a
In
bullish
it's
some
a new
pattern.
moon
areas,
right now.
right? What
They've
about
been
that long candle, the long red candle where the moon is there on the right?
That's the only
Yeah.
one I see there that doesn't look like a breakout. All of the other ones, most of them are breakouts.
And
But
see,
even with that
so this how
that
you
long
use it,
red
right?
one,
So this
I'm
how you
sorry,
access any type of tool, right? What you do, because you're seeing that some of them do, some of them don't. So what you want to do is you want to go and you want to add up out of maybe 10, 20, or 30, how many were correct versus how many were wrong. That's it. Let's say out of 10, you got 8 correct, 2 wrong. That means you trade off of a what, 80% strategy. That's an 80% hit rate.
Okay, that's using a statistics type of layout.
Definitely.
The median, something I can't think of it, all three. There's 3 parts to that, but the median range. That's what we look for, huh?
Dang, I remember all that from high school.
Well, I didn't get it
Range.
until college.
Yeah, I remember that in high school. If that's what I'm talking about,
The mean, the median, yeah.
man,
And I'm sure when you pair it with
Mean, the mode, and the mean and average.
Mean,
oh yeah, in the range.
yes, the mean, average, and the range. There you go. Thanks.
The mode.
And somebody
Mean
was asking
mode.
about if you
They're
pair it
like
with
the
what?
same.
Statistics.
Yes, statistics.
as students in metaphysics, that's supposed to be a spiral too.
So can you break down right quick, brother and me, how you really look at this, please?
All right, so just with the moon phases, right? You go back and you add up, what has it done for each new and each full? And usually you run up towards the news. You run up towards the new moon. You usually run up towards the new moon. You usually run up towards the new moon. You usually run up towards the new. You usually run down towards the full moon. Now, you don't just use that willy-nilly flat out, right? It's a couple of other things you want to look at. So, and it also depends on how you're trading. So if you're in a long-term hold versus scalping, right, you're going to use this a little bit different. You're going to use it to your advantage, right? But you're also going to look at a couple of other things. So let's take away, let's take away the moon phases for a minute. No moving averages, no nothing, right? Let's look at price before it dumped. So this is our highest point right here, right? So the first thing that you're seeing is that price is going up, right? Highs are going higher. Lows are going higher and highs are going higher, right? Now, the first thing that I'm looking at without the moon phases, right? Just using real basics, right? Everything that I think, or the main things I think people should have on their chart is your RSI, your MACD, and just price. RSI, MACD, just price. That's it, right? I've seen a lot of charts that got a lot of scrabble on them. Nothing wrong with that if you know what it all means, but I like to keep things simple, right? So the biggest thing I see between all this, right? If I zoom in on this, now remember, see, you gotta have a background knowledge though. So with these oscillators, they're supposed to basically mimic what price is doing. So they're supposed to do the same thing that price is doing, which you don't see it here because it doesn't have enough history. But let me find something that does have a lot of history. Here we go.
But basically you want to have multiple indicators pointing towards correlating.
Correlating. There you go. You want convergence, meaning they're doing pretty much the same thing. When they do something different, you want to look at the difference. And usually the difference is, if it's not hidden, if it's regular divergence, the difference is going to be in the oscillators, which is your RSI and your MACD. So what you want to do is damn near trade how they're trading versus how price is trading, because they're following the power or strength and the momentum of the market. Price is just going off of buys and sells, right? Meaning that price can be going higher. Hold on. Price can be going higher, but at the same time, momentum could be slowing down and the strength could be getting weaker. And that's exactly what you're going to see here right before we had the big, what they call the Elon Musk dump. In my opinion, it never was. So if we look at price going here, let me see. Let's go back a little bit more. Okay, cool.
They're,
So we
they're giving
bottom
that
out
man too
about
much
right
credit.
here. Yeah, way too much. Way too much. So we bottom out about right here, and then we start to run up, right? Now, same thing here. We bottom out here, and we start to run up. We run up, consolidate, right? Run up, consolidate. Now you get. Did it play out? It did. Let me see. 1, 2. Okay, so let me zoom in here, right? So the first thing that I see happening here is from this point right here. Oh, I ain't even grab it. Hold on. Because you want to look at your RSI and compare it to what's going on with price. So we see from here to here, if we blow it up,
Now, RSI stands for Relative Strength Index, but what exactly is it, I guess, measuring?
it's the strength of the market, in my opinion. How strong is the market versus what it's showing you on the price? So how strong is the actual? We'll say, because like I told y'all, I wasn't taught none of this. I made all this up to make it make sense what it makes in my mind. So things I'm telling y'all might not be 100% correct. That's why I say always do your own research. But it works for me. You get what I'm saying? So to me, when I'm looking at the relative strength index, the way I describe it is almost like a Mortal Kombat player. Whereas you can be seeing the player either getting whooped and see his power level powering up, or see him whooping ass and see his power level going down, right? So with this, let's make it more prominent. What we're seeing is a fighter getting stronger, or it appears, if this is the fight, right? Price is going higher, so the fight's obviously going good for the fighter. But if you look at the RSI, and this is the strength of the fighter, he's actually getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that there's a divergence between the two, between the oscillator and price. Now, it still doesn't make sense until you understand what bullish divergence is, right? No, bearish divergence, excuse me. Bearish divergence. Hold on. Get rid of this. And it's all this still has to do with having that knowledge of what you're looking at, right? So a bearish divergence is the pattern that occurs when the price reaches higher highs while the technical indicator makes lower lows. So although there is bullish attitude on the market, so although dude beating ass and all this, right? The discrepancy means that the momentum is slowing. Dude getting weak. So you ever been to the gym, right? For anybody that works out, you hit weights. You ever been hitting and been able to hit?
You breaking up?
Can't hear you. You still breaking up.
Yo,
Oh
can you hear me?
no.
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you now.
We hear you, brother.
Damn, when I think that it cut out. When did it cut out?
When you said, and you hit, if you ever been to the gym and you hit,
Yeah, right before you gave your example.
yeah.
So
You
y'all
just
ain't hear
finished
nothing.
reading the bearish divergence.
When you were losing momentum
Go
in
there with
the
bullish
RSI.
attitude on the market.
Okay, hold on. Let me what's going on over here? Hold on. Your experience network connection difficulties. Okay, let me
Yeah, you were talking about whenever you hit the weights, whenever you're starting to work out.
So y'all did hear that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you look like you could still fight, but your body's really tired. I guess is
Okay.
what you're saying.
Okay. So yeah. So when you're working out, and people are seeing you hit the weights, like, man, dude over there, man, hitting the hell out them weights. But you under the weights, you feel yourself getting fatigued, right? And you know if you go back under there, the next time you take that weight off the bar, it's gonna come down and hit your chest. That's the same thing that's going on with price action, right? So dude hitting the weights, he putting more slabs on, not more slabs, what do y'all call them? More
Play, say
plates.
play.
He putting
Yeah.
more
Plates.
plates on, right?
Plates, yeah.
Putting more
And
plates on. But if you can see his power level, he's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So the next time he picks that plate up, what happens? It drops down on his chest.
Mhm.
and that's when you get the sell-off at. So if you're seeing this, now this is the thing. If you're able to identify, I don't know how that happened. There we go. If you're able to identify the fact that, hold on. Okay, there we go. That you're seeing price getting higher, but you're seeing the relative strength index getting weaker. Wouldn't that be grounds for you to start looking for reasons to back off and where you should back off at?
Yeah.
So now let's say we're looking at this, right? Let's say that we're only right here. So, okay, we got one string, right? We're looking at this point right here. And all we're looking at, where is it at? Okay, let me just get rid of that, in fact. So up until now, RSI has been following price to the T. And then you get this big rundown on both of them. And then on a rally back up, you fail to make that higher high like you did on price. That's your first indication, like, okay, maybe I need to start looking at this and look for an exit strategy. So what do we look for? Break back down, right? And you give it another chance, like, okay, on this one, we could make a higher high on the RSI. Let's see what happens. So you run back up. You make a higher high on price. You make a lower high on RSI. So what do? You start looking for exit strategies, right? So you can say something easy as this. Let me just get rid of all this real quick to make it easier. There we go.
Can somebody mute that line? It's like a lot of background noise. I can't.
Yeah, if y'all can, mute y'all mics if y'all not speaking, please, for the other viewers. So we got our first wave of bearish divergence, right? Okay, we can, try to play it out, see what happens on the next run, see if we can get a run up and break that. So we get another run up, higher high again. Now, what are we looking at on the RSI? A lower high. So now what do we start doing? We start looking for, okay, what should we be looking for an exit? So we got a higher low here. That's cool. So let's just say we want to base this off our prior support right here. Bam. So we mark, come on. There we go. We mark that off and we say, okay, we can stay in our position until we drop below this level, right? As of right now, because we don't know where we're going to go. We got our three, and usually with bearish or bullish divergence, I usually look for 3 ticks, and that's usually where you get the dump. No, that's where I see it at anyways, my opinion, right? Remember, not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. But that's usually where I see the dump. So we're hedged. We're like, okay, we're waiting for it. We're gonna see if it drops below 45,194. If it does, we got a stop market set here. It's automatically gonna sell right here for us. So we sell off. We get another run. Oh, hold on. Now this run, does it make it? It does. It makes another higher high on price only. We make a significantly lower high on the RSI again. So now what can you do? You can say, well, you know what? Let's hedge our positions against our previous low here. Because I mean, so far we've been making higher lows, meaning what? You have not broken down below your previous low. So in the case that you do, that may be a reversal. But it's understanding and knowing all these things in the beginning that lets you make the decisions. That's why I always tell people, a lot of this that I know and understand right now only comes from experience. There's not a book you can read. There's nothing that really on the outside. It's really got to come from the inside, which is kind of cold now that you think about it. But it really got to come from you going through certain things to understand what's going to happen, right? But anyways, so we understand that higher highs and higher lows make an uptrend. So that means we can just keep moving our stop limit up to the previous low. So, okay, we make a higher high. Now we see where the next dump comes in. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. So honestly, this right here would have took you out right here at about $50,000, right? That would have took you out at $50,000. Now, since you got taken out, hold on. What do you look at to tell you that price is going to rally again? You have to what? Break your previous high here. So we say, okay, we got out at 50. A disciplined trader is going to say, well, I'm looking for a break above our previous high here, right? Or let's see what we have. Well, yeah. Let's make our range. So support here, resistance here. We break back in our wedge, right, or our channel. And what you're looking for to get back in your position. Let me see. We could even. Now that I see it, but you could have even looked at your previous resistance here before you made it to your all-time high and been like, let's at least top out above here, which you never, ever, ever made it for an entry. But anything, you got knocked out here. You're waiting for a break above here to get back in, or a break above your all-time high, because if you break your all-time high, you're obviously going to go to, you know, more highs, right? We never get that or that. And what happens? You hit that, break that, you bring that weight with them extra plates off, you drop it on your chest. So now remember, you're already out here though, based off of the fact that you're making higher highs and higher lows and you don't want to break your previous low. So you set a stop market, a stop limit, whatever you want to do right here at your previous low. So it knocks you out here. Now, discipline, right? Okay, well, we got knocked out. Do we just re-enter on the FOMO? Right here, and I bet guarantee a lot of people are like, oh, it's running. We got to get back in. Nah, be disciplined. Sit back. You just check from wherever you got into 50K. So now what? We're scared to let 10K walk past us to get another entry? Not me. So we wait for our entry to come in based off the break. We never get it, and now it dumps. So now what are you looking for at the bottom? Well, at the top, what were you looking for? Bearish divergence to get out of your position. So at the bottom, what would you be looking for? Bullish divergence. And let's see, what is bullish divergence?
Brother Bully, what year did you get involved in this space?
2017. In fact, today's my anniversary. I did my first YouTube video today, 2017.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yourself, God.
And at the time, I'm talking about when I knew nothing about financial instruments, nothing. I was straight from wherever I was coming from and straight into this new world. You know what I mean? So you can really, it's ironic. You can go watch my whole damn near life line of my time in cryptocurrency from that point on. Okay. So a bullish divergence occurs when prices fall to a new low, while an oscillator fails to reach a new low. This situation demonstrates that the bears are losing power and that the bulls are ready to control the market again. And often a bullish divergence marks the end of a downtrend. So now what are we looking at here? So we look, let me get these wicks off of here, because sometimes the wicks make it a little harder to decipher. And I want you to understand the difference between wicks and body closes. Wicks are the attempts. The body closes is the meat and potatoes. I don't know what anybody else is going to tell you. They probably read a book on it, but that's what it means to me. All right, so yep, Cryptonomic Console is one of my old ones, but actually Chicago Crypto Hustler is the oldest one. I made Cryptonomic Console after Chicago Crypto Hustle was maybe 2 years in, because people were looking for like some of my beginner information and it was hard to go back. So I just made a brand new YouTube channel with a bunch of beginner information. So I actually got 2 of them, Chicago Crypto Hustler and Cryptonomic Console, which is CryptoNomic CONSUL on YouTube. I got a bunch of beginner videos on there that'll be helpful for people. But anyways, so what are we looking at here? We got a low, consecutive low, really a slightly lower low, and then we have an even lower low. But look what's going on with your RSI, which is your power up. This is your lifeline. You're seeing yourself die over here, right? I saw an old video how you did BitConnect $100 loan. Can you briefly explain what you were? All right, so BitConnect was like the early. Well, now let me finish this. Because I'm gonna keep diverging to other things. Where was I? Oh yeah. So you see that you're dying here, but we see on the outside looking in, looking at the player console, you're actually getting powered up. So you're getting coins or mushrooms or whatever is giving you your power in the video game. So you're getting stronger here, but price is going lower. Why? Because it's faking people out. Just like this. This is faking people out that it was bullish and it wasn't. This is faking people out that it's bearish and it may not be. Now, does this 100% mean that it's going to turn around? Not at all. Not at all. But this gives you those indications that this may be the bottom, right? So you got to be able to look at all this stuff and be like, okay, well, we got bullish divergence here. We got a downtrend here, uptrend here. And then you start looking at other things, right? So let's see, what do the moving averages say? Okay, we're still below the 20-day on the daily, but you can start breaking it down to lower time frames. What are we doing on the 4-hour? Ah, look at that.
What is the MACD telling?
On the daily, same thing. If you look at it, exact same thing. So this right here was your lowest low on the MACD. This is your next lowest low on price. This is your low on the MAC. You got, not only do you have a higher low, but you also have a lighter colored bar than the previous one. And then your next low is here, which actually comes at the switch right here on positive momentum. So you're not even in negative momentum no more. So it's definitely a total difference. because you should still be dumping in the negative momentum right here. You should still be dumping. It
Right.
shouldn't be, you know what I mean? But it's telling you that not only is the strength getting higher or the power level, the momentum. And what is momentum? Just how people feel about the market. The momentum is getting positive. It's not negative. It's positive momentum.
So then how do the moons come in?
I'm about to tie all that in. Just follow along with me. Tying all that in. Remember, it's no one thing. I'm taking y'all through the steps of, okay, this adds up. Let me look at something else. Damn, this adds up. Let me look at something else. Damn, it's like when one and this and that and everything's adding up, it's signs and symbols for the conscious mind. You can't flat out look at something and deny it. Like, I see all this, but no. I mean, well, you can, but then you be betting against it. And let me say this: at the end of the day, none of this is etched in stone. Remember, technical analysis is all about prediction making. The only difference is being able to utilize these different skills gives you an edge in that prediction making. So somebody that don't know nothing about technical analysis, nothing about moving averages, hold on, let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that, get rid of oscillators, and all they know is the charts. They're just gonna come in here and just see a whole bunch of red and green lines. They're not gonna know what's going on, and they're just gonna gamble. They can be like, it's going down, short. It's going up, buy. They're not even gonna know nothing about shorting, but sell if it goes down. You know what I mean? They're not gonna know anything about what you're actually looking for.
Pardon me. I'd like to know, can you show the areas where consolidation took place before you move on to the next thing?
Right here.
Okay. And is there any way that we can, before it gets that long, or like how long does it take for us to identify consolidation when it's happening?
Consolidation, all you're looking is for a channel. So let's see. ETH, Litecoin, XRP. Okay, XRP is consolidating right now on the highs. It's a high consolidation, but you are consolidating because you're wedging between these two zones. So until you break out of these zones, let me see. Daily, open this up 4 hour. Let me go back real quick. 4 hour, 4 hour, 4 hour. Cause I had another one here that was consolidating pretty good too. I don't remember which one it was that broke out. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Stellar was consolidating. It broke out. Now look what happened. This was your support. What it do? Back tested it as what? Resistance.
Yeah.
And broke it down. Matic. Nope. What was that was consolidating? This one just broke its structure too. Cake. What was that I was? Okay, here it is right here. Tron. Tron's in a consolidation period right now. Right, where you just basically got sideways movement. You're not in the uptrend. You're not in the downtrend. You're just moving sideways.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you identify that by figuring out where your high and your low is, and then figuring out that you're really right now you're not breaking outside of that. So right here you would have wanted to break your high, you didn't. Right here you wanted to break your low, you didn't. Right here you wanted to break your high, you didn't. Right here you wanted to break your low, you didn't. So now you're getting yourself into a channel, and it's just consolidating back and forth until you either break this high or this low. You're just going to consolidate to the side.
Okay. And it's safe to just stay put when you're consolidating instead of just pulling out.
Once again, a million things you can do. You can buy support and sell resistance. Every time it comes down here, if you get the right indicator, you can just buy the support and then sell it when it gets towards the resistance. So that's what I'm saying. There's no one answer there. Nothing that you ask really, because there's always going to be something that you could do.
Okay.
Brother
Can you
Amir,
go
can
back
you
to
explain to
this?
them how long it typically takes you? Because it sounds like, I know a lot of people are new to chart reading, that it's something you just can't look at and say, okay, like you just said, it's going up or going down. I know you've mentioned to us before, it takes you hours sometimes just to chart one
Yeah,
chart.
definitely. So even though I look through some of this, not like right now, if I just look at Link or somebody just throw a coin out there. Let me look at something I haven't looked at previously. Somebody throw
Polygon.
Okay, I looked at Matic too much. I just looked at Matic.
Okay.
Neo.
Safe Moon. Okay, I never look. Neo. There we go. I never look at Neo anymore. Let's look at Neo real quick. Let me open it. I was gonna give a real quick assessment. Let me turn my Wix back on. Weekly. Let me see something. Let me turn these back on. All right. So number one, you're bearish because you're under the 20-day moving average. Though you are supported by the 50-day moving average. So off top. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Off top, you don't want to break below 41, and you need to break above 58. A break below 41 is probably going to bring you back down to $23.29. A break above $58 probably run you up to about $81. But if we start going deeper, that's on a weekly though. Start going deeper. So now look, you've got a very bearish crossover. So number one, until you cross back above this red line, you're not going to go back up. So you can just stay out of the position until you're able to not only break this, but turn this into support. And not only what you want to do is kind of get it to wrap around, kind of neutralize itself, then start to break up to the upside, because the moving averages also dictate trend or direction of trend. This is a downtrend. There's no reason you should be like, oh, I'm going to buy this because it's a dip. These is telling you it's a downtrend, right? So if we go back to the last time these were telling you it was a downtrend, that's about right here. So let me find a better downtrend. There we go. Beautiful downtrend, right? Reject, reject, and then you start to break here. Now, you do break back up and you break back below it, right? But look at the direction of your moving average now. Not only do you have a low on your moving average here, if we get rid of price, you can gauge your direction off of that. Like, okay, moving average right here. My moving average doesn't break down back here. Then obviously we're in the uptrend. Well, let me not say it like that. But you can, process of elimination, say that you're in the uptrend. So now you start looking at positions above the 20-day moving average here, right? So that's telling you already there's a shift change. Then once you cross over, that's another thing. When you cross over this orange line to the downside, that's usually your signal to possibly get out. When you cross back to the upside, possibly get in. And all you do is you back test it. Now, wider or larger time frames are going to give you way wider moves. So if we open this up, what is we looking at? Oh, this is Neo. Okay. Let me get back to the original thing. But just off top, I was able to give you a pretty good assessment within like 5 minutes. But it doesn't really stop there because, well, it can. Man, Ms. Agnes, there's no one way really to answer this. Even though I gave a real quick assessment on that, I can still dig in Neo and be like, okay, what I really kind of still want to position here. So let's see what else we can look at here, right? We do have a low, higher low. Let me see, what do we got on? There's no divergence though, which is what you usually want to look for. So I'm not seeing any divergence, but what we could do is take a chance, right? And say, okay, let's just use our previous low. Take this here. All right. So number one, you don't want to trade in anything that's not above the 236. Number one. So nothing's really telling us to get in there. But let's just say we are risky, and we do want to trade anyways, regardless of everything else telling us not to trade it, right? We can still go ahead and be risky and be like, okay, well, our previous lows is here, so we can just enter a position here and use our previous lows as our stop. Say what, 11.5% loss. Now if we do break here, which off top is 18%, you usually target anywhere between 30 to 382 and the 618. So that's anywhere between $72 to $93. So now you're looking at 42 to 63 to 86% returns. But none of this means anything because in the grand scheme of things, it's not telling you that it's going to break up there. It's really telling you what it's in a downtrend. But if you do want to be risky and take this position, there is ways that you can gauge a risky position no matter what it is. But so it took me a couple minutes to run through that. It's gonna take y'all a while to even like understand why I don't know. It makes it hard to even try to explain this stuff sometimes, to be honest with you.
No, but you was really you was going in with the how you think through the indicators and the MACD and the RSI and versus price action like that. Can you do that as well, please? Or can you continue with that, like the how you think through your technical analysis and use these indicators in terms of price action?
All right, so just off top, just GP, nothing else. Just the indicators, no moon, no nothing. Just a 20-day moving average. You don't want to trade this to the upside till it breaks over the 20-day moving average. Now, what people get scared of is they want to hit the bottom. They want to catch the bottom. I don't want to wait for price to get back up to $64. I want to buy it at 50 and 40 and all the rest of that. Sometimes you just got to be the better man and be like, look, I need a confirmation. And the confirmation really doesn't come in until you break back above your previous high, which is $60. Now, breaking above that $60 does what? That breaks you above your 20-day moving average, right? So just a real easy way to trade is just with moving averages. You don't even have to use a lot of other things, though the other things add on to what you're already looking at. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
in the event, and they also can allow you to see or kind of peer into the future. So with Bitcoin, if we're just using this is telling us that we shouldn't trade it to the upside. But when we add on the fact that we got bullish divergence, then that's what tells you to start looking for your low level of positions because it is bullish divergence. But without that, nope, nothing's telling you it's going to the upside. With that, it is. So you see how with or without, you get two totally different outcomes.
Yeah.
You got to be able to look at more than one thing. You got to be able to adjust your eyes to see 3 or 4 things at one time and put them all together and decipher. I don't know. Yeah, you got to be able to just look at everything and see what the difference is or what the similarities is. Yeah, there it
It's,
is. It's almost like
Lord
that
have
old
mercy.
game they used to have you play where they used to have the picture on one side with like 8 things and then the other one is 8 different things. Same thing here.
And then how do the blue and red lines work on the MACD?
The blue line is the MACD line. The orange line is the signal line. So they're just moving averages initially. When the blue line crosses over the orange line to the upside, you're crossing from negative momentum into positive momentum, right? So what you want to look for is when does the blue line bounce, and that's about right here. Now, does that mean that? Well, let me turn this on. Does that mean it's going to be the bottom? No, it doesn't. You look for all the rest of the signs and the signals, but it does tell you that you're climbing out of negative momentum. All this tells you is that the bears are getting weaker or getting exhausted. This tells you that the bulls are getting stronger. When it gets light, the bulls are getting exhausted. Dark, the bulls are getting stronger. So you got positive and negative, and you got strong positive, weak positive, strong negative, weak negative. Cross over here to you cross over from the highs that right here, you cross over. What do you happen? You go into negative momentum. You trade down. Well, let me see. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to trade down because you didn't. You actually traded up through that whole thing. Look at that. You actually traded up through the whole thing. Then, well, not really. You did trade down, and then through the rest of the negative momentum, you traded to the upside. But I hope y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's dope. Thank you.
That's peace. That's knowledge born.
you get it?
Appreciate it. What
Hey,
we'll do?
Chicago, when that
Go ahead.
when that drop happened in May, were you way ahead of that, or was that kind of a shock?
May. I think that was
I mean, when we went from like Bitcoin went from like 50, 60,000 down to 30,000 like in a day or 2 days. When
I
that
talking about.
sharp.
I think you talking about from 2020. Hell nah, bro. If you go back and watch my video, I've been telling people to get out of Bitcoin since up here.
No. Like recently. I'm talking about recently.
Right here, May. Right.
Like,
You talking about just now, right?
yeah, just now. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go watch my video on Instagram, I put a video up right after they said Elon Musk said that he made the price dump. 2 days prior to that, I was showing people there was negative momentum, saying that price is probably going to come down to about $40,000 and below that $30,000. So I wasn't surprised at that. No, I wasn't. Mr. Agnes,
Okay.
how long have I been telling y'all to get out of y'all positions?
What you just said before
weeks, right?
Elon Musk, when everybody was saying it was Elon Musk that made it dump, but you already pointed out the bearish divergence.
And you said that the highlight was the saying, let's see, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peace to the
Oh,
I
God.
yeah,
figured you were, but
that was me.
I figured you would be, but I thought I'd ask anyway.
Nah, you all good.
But Brother
Like I say,
Amir's
y'all, I
always
don't pay attention to news, none of
he'll
that. I just
always
look at the charts.
he'll always sorry. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead, Ms.
Brother Amir.
Agnes.
No, I said you've always taught us that don't pay attention to anything else. The charts is what the charts will tell you. The news doesn't even matter, whatever the news is. You see it on the charts, that's all the indicators that you need.
Islam
And
though.
that's what you exactly showed us, before Elon Musk. So
And before it dumped.
right. Exactly.
Can I say that move, that play, honestly, it was kind of beautiful because it just showed you it was a huge lesson. It really was, with the whole Saturday Night Live and everything with that. It was a huge lesson. It was showing you what this space really is. It's the wild, wild west. I was seeing you had crucial conflict on your Insta. And yeah, Desperado.
I
This
just
is
learned
Yeah.
about
crypto game
crucial
is.
conflict.
Say it again.
I just learned about that group through Brother
Brother Panic.
Panic.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. You
I
know,
legendary
was
I'm
group.
from the South, baby, so I was like, some of that music, like, to me, it sounded like a
hey,
little bit of UGK.
I'm from Houston actually, and I was in 7th grade when Smoking on Hay dropped, and so I was actually around in the midst of when that crucial conflict Do or Die, the whole Do or Die was with Rap a Lot actually too for a while.
Hmm.
So I'm a Houston. I,
Really?
I
I
remember
didn't
when that
know
first
that.
dropped.
Like
Facts.
a lot of the major Chicago groups was with a lot of major labels. Psychodrama was with Suave, and we're gonna get on to all this, but Psychodrama was with Suave House. Do or Die, Snipers, and then was with Rap a Lot.
Jay
Crucial Conflict
Prince.
was with Fab Fab Freddy. Who else? The Brat was with Def Jam. Chicago was signed back in the day. It was just that when y'all already know what happened, like in the background, like the Snipers went out. Well, I ain't gonna put all that out there, but it was just too. We was real street. Like Chicago was really, really, really the streets, and all the rappers that came out of Chicago was really, really, really the streets, and it really
Don't
didn't mix
forget
two
the
business to
first
have a deal.
rapper out of Chicago that I remember had a deal was a Tongue Twister though.
Yeah, nah, he wasn't the first one. He was
Who was
probably the
before
biggest one.
him?
The Brat was
He
way before Tongue
came.
Twister. The Brat.
Yeah, real talk.
No, Twister was before the Brat, dude.
No,
Twister came
No,
out in
no,
the
listen,
early
no.
listen,
90s.
listen, listen,
Brad
listen, bro.
came out
Tongue
with
Twister, Tongue
Crisscross.
Twister came out before the Brat, but Twister wasn't signed to Atlantic Records until after the Brat, bro. His major
Yeah,
deal
yeah,
didn't come
that's
until
true. Yeah,
Atlantic
that's
Records.
that's definitely true. Yeah.
Right, so
So how would
that's when he was a big rapper. Nobody listened to Tongue Twister when he was Tongue Twister.
okay,
Not
so
after
how
him.
he had to become Twister? He became Twister.
Yeah,
He
when he was
became
when he was
somebody, huh?
he didn't like that stuff. It wasn't until he started talking street like that we was like, okay, we can rock with this. But all that bibbidi bibbidi, no, you can rap street, but we're not about to be playing no cassette tapes with that in it. And he switched it up.
Okay, so how would you use the moons for the this being your next thing?
Okay, so moving into the moon. That's why I'm pulling y'all up to all of this. Because the moon phase tells you that price should go up, but initially it did. The new moon came in on the 10th, right? So that was the night of June 9th. If you put the moon phases back on, you actually got that slight run up, but you didn't get the rally you usually get. You did not get the rally you usually get. So remember, when you go back and you count how many times it was right versus how many times it was wrong, you always got to remember you got that small 20% percentage rate, right? Now, there's also been times where it has ran up slightly and then continued running up after the continued phase, but then it usually comes back down and pulls down when the full moon comes in. So what I was looking at, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. I shared it in the Discord earlier. The next moon phase comes in on June 24th, right? So if
Yep.
we look at where is it? June 24th. On this day, if you want to get into predictions, you number one, you're trying to see how high price is gonna go. Right now, we're holding our highs, or we're holding our consolidating on. No, we're not even on a 4 hour probably consolidating. Yeah, a little bit. So we're holding our support on the highs on the 4 hour. You're above both major moving averages, right? So what do you usually do? You usually break up to the next moving average. So let's go ahead and add some of these on real quick. Oh no, actually we're battling that when we broke back down, kept our high. So we could break that and move to the next one, which is about 40,000 on the 4 hour, right? So we open this back up on a daily, and we say if we break the 20 here, we run up to the 200, which is what 41,000. 4 hour. 40,700. So between 40 and 41,000, depending on no matter what chart you look on the daily and the 4, which is the only two I usually use to trade with, is looking like your target. So what can we see then? We can see a rally up to around that price within the following days, and then expect that once we hit that price going into the 24th, you can hedge yourself, look at your previous low, set a stop limit, and already expect the dump to come because the full moon's coming on the 24th. Did that make sense?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I put trailing
Can
stop
you say
on
that
all my.
again real quick?
Oh man.
Well, not all of it, just the last part. Like when you said where you put the stop because the full moon is coming again.
Okay, so check it, right? So right now we're at 35,000. Let's say we rally up to 41. Let's say, let me see, where will we be? What would it? Hello?
We're still here.
Yep, we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep,
We
Okay,
we
can.
can
okay,
hear
cool,
you.
cool, cool. All
I think you went in
right,
and out.
all right. Yeah, because it said something about new software, new hardware for the audio, so I want to make sure you can hear me. So it's basically all of it. It all depends on what you do with these moving averages and how you interact with each one. The first thing you're looking for is the break here. That's number one. This low on 24, this isn't going to matter if we just keep dumping because you're just going to keep going low. So this only matters is if we start moving to the upside, meaning we have to break our resistance here. And that's going to be major because we have not been able to break the 20 days since May 13th. It's now the 10th going into the 11th of June, which is going to be what? Damn near a month, right? So now we're looking to break the 20. Break the 20, you move up to the 200. That's $40,000 to $41,000. From that point, you always look for a rejection when you hit these moving averages, meaning that you're going to possibly be looking for a rejection or a pullback. So don't buy it when it gets here. If anything, wait to see if it pulls back here and try to buy on the retest. In fact, the retest probably come right here on your previous high here. That's around 39,460. So maybe 39.5, you get a pullback, right? Once you get that pullback at 39.5 and you extend, you can then move your stop either to break even where you enter that or to that 39.5, right? Because remember, we're looking for, as we get closer, this would be the 11th, 12th, 14th. It's real hard to kind of time it without it populating, but these are the just walking you through. These are the things you're looking for. So remember, as we go higher, you always want to keep in the back of your mind the full moon's coming on the 24th. The full moon's coming on the 24th. So every time you make a trek higher, you want to hedge that position to save yourself in case it dumps, attempting or already man, brain's getting fried. Already expecting the full moon.
Okay.
Y'all gotta excuse me, I'm getting tired. I've been up since
We
6
good,
a.m.
we
doing
good.
this. Did that make
The
sense?
sisters, yeah, the sister suggested everybody rewatch the video. So that sounds like a good
Yeah, she probably hear
suggestion.
me going through things again. Thank you for
Yeah,
that, Miss
yeah,
Jerica.
yeah. You know, you definitely deserve a break, brother, because you be popping up every day with something, and then every other day with a video. Then you got news, and man, you doing the most.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you're
take
killing
good
it,
care of
brother.
everybody, and blessings and power to you.
Nah,
Yeah,
thank you.
brother,
Yeah, you
you
too,
wrap
Les.
it up, brother Amir, because I know you have consults all day long.
Yeah,
You know.
tomorrow's Friday.
Is
So let me say this. Well, I'll just open it up for closing questions or comments. I'm trying to get
Brother
everybody out the
Bully,
way. Yep.
brother Bully.
Yep.
Couple of things. One, I see as far as attendees, there's 44. So I just saw that real quick. And would you, yeah, would you say that one, as far as the whole Elon Musk thing, you think he's just trolling and watching the indicators, and then he went out there as far as the ego trip thing? One, and then two, do you also look at any of the on-chain metrics, any on-chain analysis?
Yeah, I do. I watch how much Bitcoin's going in and coming out of Coinbase like everybody else. Definitely. I see what they hoarding. I see them taking all this stuff offline. Now the Elon Musk thing, I doubt him. Remember, these people got financial advisors. And I said this before. I said I wouldn't doubt it if these guys' financial advisors are coming to tell them it's bearish divergence. Just say some stupid stuff and push it over so the thing
You
can
know
dump
it.
already. Like
Yep.
I promise you, how hard would that be? It's already prostrating on the screen. So skilled investors already see bearish divergence. We're already hedged and ready for the price to drop. All you got to do for the retailers, for the mom and pops that don't understand technical analysis, is say something stupid and they're gonna knock it over the edge for us. We're already positioned.
Uh-huh.
That
I
was
can
the
see that
point.
happening definitely.
Yeah, that was the point.
You just got to think like a whale. Think like them. That's what I do.
So do
Well, no, I
you
think
You
like me. I think like me. That's
when
what
I
I meant.
when I said that he taught us that was the lesson, you know, is
Yeah.
that because is the pump and dump is legal in crypto.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let me say this: when y'all hear them little mantras, because I seen all those Doge to $1 videos leading up to that video, like, oh, he's gonna be on Saturday night, Doge to $1, and I was just shaking my head, like, oh my God, this is 2017 again.
So basically, Amir, what you're saying is that the whales come in, they crash the market, and then they come in and buy it up, right?
I'm not going to say they crash it, right? The crashing comes from the sales, which comes from the retailers, which comes from them panic selling because of Elon saying something or Trump saying something. We've already got out of our positions, to be honest with you.
Peace, King. Hey, the Queen was asking about the $100 loan video real quick.
$100 loan video.
I don't know. She put it in the chat. She had asked you earlier. You was gonna go through. I don't know.
Yeah, you
Flash
kept
loans?
getting sidetracked.
I remember, but I don't remember. You feel me?
Right.
I was just trying to help out. I was just trying to help out.
You could do that for tomorrow. Brother Mir's probably tired.
Yeah, I already know he. That's why
Let this
I'm
brother
like,
go to bed, please.
Because y'all know I'm going to keep on talking.
I know.
I already know. Peace, King, man. We appreciate your
Yeah,
time,
good
your
night.
knowledge.
Happy
Yes,
Holy
thank
Day,
you.
Morris.
Good night.
Happy Holy Day,
Thank
boys.
you, Brother Amir.
Happy
All right.
holiday.
Hey, this is the first time I ever
This
kicked
is
off
the
a
king.
class.
All right, peace, brothers.
Never in my
Peace,
life
Yeah,
kicked
yeah.
off a class ever. I'm about to
peace to the
talk
God.
this.
Some more.
Hey, can y'all hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah,
hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
y'all can? I'm like, damn, they just ignoring me.
Peace,
Nah.
God.
Nah, I appreciate that, y'all. Man, I'm damn, now I don't want to go. 'Cause I ain't never been
Hey,
kicked
Amir,
off.
I have a question.
No,
Come on,
we
burn
trying
one,
to
burn
get you
one.
off.
Nah, but okay.
Burn one. Come out.
All right,
Amir,
so
I have
look,
a
hey,
question. In
go ahead.
regards
No.
to
I'm
the
about to
market,
email my $30 in for the book.
Huh? Hey, look,
I'm
y'all
about
can
to
send
email my
donations too. Even though I don't never ask for donations, y'all can always send donations if y'all ever feel obliged to. I do appreciate them. No, I don't
What's
ask
your
for that.
cash up, brother?
What's
Yeah,
your
what's the
cash?
cash app?
More
She's
minded
still
money.
building.
MOOR. More minded money. So MOORMINDEDMONEY.
Well, you
So
said
you
Is
that
that correct?
fast. Hold on. You said that fast. Say it again.
My
It's in the
fault.
chat.
More MOOR.
Mm-hmm.
Minded MINDED. And
Mm-hmm.
money MONEY with a $sign in front. I appreciate any donations I do get.
about to get some.
But go ahead, Queen. I ain't never gonna cut nobody else. Queen was about to ask a question.
yeah. So getting back to the markets, I find it fascinating because back in the day when everything was hedged against gold, obviously there was a standard and that was maintained based on how much gold there was. But now with we're now taken off that, and now we have the Wild West here. How does it really, when you really get to thinking about like what makes, like, I remember hearing about Bitcoin, I think it
Oh,
was like
Jesus.
2013, and I remember thinking, wow, that sounds really crazy. But it was really crazy because it was probably really, really cheap. But anyway, what drives these markets? I mean, how, like, you hear all these people creating their own coins. So basically, they're generating a coin and then they're marketing it and creating value by creating a need, basically.
Nah, not everything. No, there's over 8,000 different cryptocurrencies. It's probably about 1% of that that's actually got a real use case in this space. So absolutely not. A lot of this stuff is just fluff.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff
So
is just fluff.
So what made Bitcoin go so big in that it doesn't have any real utility other than, a token, right?
No, not actually. It's the technology behind it. The blockchain is immutable, meaning it's never been hacked. Seeing, understanding that you can have a value of something that can't be taken from you, that only you have control of, and that you can transact with across the world. Think about how important that is to governments. Think about how important that is. I mean, just anybody. That's what it is. It's being able to send value between one individual or a next completely without an intermediary or a counterparty or anyone telling you can or cannot do it. That's freedom. So it really, Bitcoin is just freedom in the beginning, and it was the first form of freedom, which is why it's the biggest one. But I mean, y'all seen fast currencies that outbeat Bitcoin as far as the price goes. So price really doesn't mean anything.
So I guess because when I think about like virtual currency, we had PayPal, we had
You got
we
Federal
had
Reserve notes. I mean, the U.S. dollar is a virtual currency. I hope y'all know
right,
that.
right, right. So why? So I guess you answered the question. That is that the blockchain supports the crypto, and that's what made it so big. Because the
But that's just
blockchain.
Bitcoin though. That's just Bitcoin. And I'm gonna
No,
leave
no,
it at
right,
this. When you get into the other currencies, Ethereum is almost like a new computer software. You can
No.
program on top of Ethereum. You get what I
right.
mean? You can't
Yes.
program with stocks. You can't program with bonds. People are like, oh, it's just like stocks and bonds. It ain't nothing like stocks and bonds. If you're only trading it, it is. But if you really do crypto, like I told y'all earlier, it's outside of that. So
It's long.
you know.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it at
Right.
that, y'all. It's 11. I think we've been live for what 2.5 hours or something. I don't even know.
All
I'm
time.
tired.
Awesome. I could listen to you forever.
Hey, look, I got a YouTube and a podcast. You can listen to me talk all day long.
Okay.
Yeah, go to YouTube.
My podcast.
Yeah, because he need to go to bed.
That's a
Money
wrap.
Motivation on iTunes and Spotify. You can go check out Chicago Crypto Hustle on YouTube. And I mean, and no, but for real though, y'all should go binge watch my stuff. Like just to be honest, because it's really gonna catch
Oh,
you
you
up
don't
what's
have
going
to say
on.
it twice.
That
We're
part.
on
Hey,
it's on my to-do list.
there's so much info just in the past week that you've given us. There's so much stuff that we need to just keep watching over and over again, I think, you know?
Yeah, repetition is your best friend in this space. Repetition is your best friend.
So when is
I
the
can
next
get it
boot
unless you
camp going?
repetitiously do it. Huh?
When is the next boot camp going to be held?
The 5-day boot camp?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm just trying to find out when it's tomorrow's class. She's talking about another 5-day book.
Right.
Yeah, we got 3 more days of this left.
Let's see. I'll probably do a boot camp. No, not the first week of July. Yeah. Probably last. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I get enough people interested and I take my whole last month off, I'll probably do a boot camp the last month of June.
Wow.
Hey, brother. Peace, brother. Let me say something real quick.
Yeah,
What are
it's
we
a wrap,
talking?
King.
What are we
It's
talking
a
about as
wrap.
far as cost?
Oh, yeah, come on.
Amir?
Let him go.
All the information is in the general chat.
Okay.
Boot camp
In the
information,
general. It's a
everything is
wrap,
in the general
Queen.
chat.
We appreciate you,
Yeah,
King.
yeah, peace, King.
Brother
You've been
Amir,
on here
King.
Brother, go to
almost
bed.
3 hours.
Peace,
Yes,
family.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's
appreciate
King.
y'all.
Peace to the
No,
gods.
that's
Peace.
Night.
easy.
I posted the last 2 videos that we did. Let me I'm gonna post this one. I'm gonna try to post this one tonight. If I don't,
When
somebody
is
call me.
tomorrow's class?
You said when's the next
Let's
class?
blow up his cash app tonight, y'all.
Didn't get
Yeah,
Didn't
yesterday's.
what's
get
that
cash app.
cash app again?
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you. And we'll tomorrow's Friday. Damn, we might go early tomorrow because I got class tomorrow night at the Burn, Learn, and Earn. So we might have to go live early tomorrow.
Like what time?
Oh man. I mean, I'll get up at 7 in the morning and do it, but no, that's gonna be too close. I want to give some time. I want to give Price time to like play itself out.
Would it be better to just maybe take tomorrow off and then, just put it on the back end?
I mean, we can do that if y'all feel
Yeah,
like doing that. We
yeah,
can do
take
that
the night
I'm
off.
cool
another
with
day.
that. Yeah, let them
That's
rewatch
good.
some of these videos.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
great
lot.
idea.
Yep,
And
take the
then
night
when
off.
does it come back?
Rewatch them.
Ooh.
Rewatch the
Yeah.
ones that he did, the other boot camps that he did.
Oh
No, I
yeah,
know,
because
but
all
no
y'all
one.
haven't watched all the boot camps, right?
Everybody probably haven't even watched Sundays. That was 5
Yeah,
hours.
that time. Yeah. Shoot, that was
When
5
would
hours.
Yeah, that was
what would
5
tomorrow
hours.
night? So we take tomorrow off, and when do we come back?
We'll come back Saturday. Well, so that
Oh, okay.
means we'll do, because it's supposed to be what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That means we'll do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Monday will be our last day.
Yeah, that
Cool.
sounds good. Let's end
I
it on a
appreciate that.
Monday.
Whoever said that idea, man, I appreciate you.
Man, hell yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate you, King.
We
I
appreciate
y'all,
you.
man. Huh?
That was
I
We
said,
Shorty
okay,
Barber.
appreciate you.
this is the last time we say goodnight.
Right. Good night.
You got a
Smoke
nice
one, man.
Power and prosperity.
Good night. Good
All right,
night.
peace, power, and
Feeling
prosperity.
crazy.
Peace, power,
Peace.
that's
Peace.
right. Peace, power, and
Peace.
prosperity.
Gods.
Peace,
Good night,
everyone.
all.
Peace, gods.
Peace.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Hey, man,
Peace,
y'all
love,
hang
and
up.
light.
Everybody hang up.